people are trying to come, like, so. I can
Okay.
Make a space for the guests.
Okay, yeah, you could, that's good.
Yeah.
Recording. Okay, we're recording. Okay. Welcome to the Madison College Student Senate General Assembly. Today is Thursday, March 27th, 2025. I now call this meeting to order at 4:31 p.m. At this point in time, can we do a roll call?
Roll call starts off, Executive Council President Brito,
Here I am.
Vice President Thomas President, Vice President of Legislative Affairs Hashmi, Vice President of Team Development Spoku, Vice President of Public Relations Jackson Peters,
Present.
Again, here.
Supervisor Cole,
Yeah.
Here.
move to draft campaign. Senator Vila.
Yeah, present. Yeah, I got it.
Sarah Brown.
He's doing roll call. No, I can't hear him.
Senator Sarah Brown.
I don't know, we want to get more for that. Okay.
Here.
Senator Raptor.
Here.
Senator Valario. Senator Valario.
I don't know.
He's, what do we call that? Cole
He's
was
excused.
Okay. That's all right.
Senator Richards.
Present.
Senator.
Oh, nice. You can turn your camera off if you want.
Senator Matson.
Present.
Senator Portillo.
You be late. He's late, yep.
Senator West.
West?
Yeah.
I'm here.
Move to regional and metro candidates. Footage Senator Crowder.
Present.
Reedburg Senator Stacey Brown.
She's logging on. She's currently at work right now.
But late.
Vote Atkinson Senator Dirks.
Present. Then none there.
We're gonna announce it right now, just out of the way.
Oh,
no.
sure.
Okay. Yeah. So this is just coming from, Sylvia Senator Bissonnette. Sylvia has stepped away from the Senate. So moving forward, you will not see Sylvia. She has asked, if you know her, you want to talk to her, cool. Don't reach out to her about why she stepped away. She just kind of wants to just, I don't know. So just so you're all aware.
And she is okay.
She is okay. She's 100% okay. Just do her thing.
Yes.
Do we have quorum?
We have quorum.
Thank you so much.
It's Quinn.
Welcome to our General Assembly meeting of the Madison College Student Senate. It's
Yeah,
a public meeting and it'll be recorded for transparency and record keeping purposes. We're gonna cover a few basic items before beginning. If you lose connection at any point during the meeting, you can reconnect by clicking the link or calling the number in the original email. To senders and other members online, please activate your video and keep it on for the duration of the meeting, if it's possible. Use the raise hand feature when you'd like to be recognized to speak, ask questions, or request a roll call vote. As chair, I'll do my best to call on committee members in the order in which hands are raised. Lowering your hand will take you out of the queue. At this point, can we pull up meeting minutes and do a quick review? Perfect. You'll see here that we've had a really basic things beginning. We had a conversation with Kim Henderson. They are talking about increasing the rental fee from $7 per credit to some number. It's not, the number's not really known yet, and it won't happen this year. Next year is when they'll start discussing the number, and then next Senate will be the one to choose that. We did have discussion from public safety about the emergency services that are provided, and there'll be a follow-up about that later with a potential, we'll definitely have to report on that. We did talk about just normal reports, and then we did have discussion about the 3-year plan, elections. We inducted Andy Portillo Moreno as our inclusion belonging coordinator. We did talk about bill number 3. We didn't finish it. General Center application for Brent West, he was approved. And we talked about the questions for the presidential search forum. And that's about it. And we told you to nominate us for the Organization of the Year Award. We are a current contender. So let's hope that we win. Okay, with that, do we have any, sorry, I would entertain a motion to approve.
That's good.
Clarifying question.
Yeah, clarifying question.
Sure.
just because,
Okay, let me know if this works.
I don't know, I can't pull it up. But anyways, on the part about, Kim Henderson,
Yes,
I thought we had specifically asked her to come back to
Yes.
give feedback to students, and I just wanted to make sure it says that, because I don't think she agreed to actually, have us approve it.
I think she said that we would be in consultation with her.
Okay, that
Yeah.
counts then.
Yeah, do you want it reflected in the notes?
Yeah, I just really want to reflect it that they're coming back before they do this increase.
Sure, sure. Or we could wait until, well, we could do it in the notes, yeah. So a motion to amend the, motion to approve an amended agenda with that, additional detail. Sound good?
That sounds perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, yeah.
Second?
Yes.
Okay, I'll take that second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, hearing none, we can do a vote of unanimous approval. If no one's opposed, this passes in 5, 4, 3, 2. Anyone online? Let me check.
Nope, you're good.
Anything, no online? Perfect, okay. Motion carries. Moving on to the agenda. See here, that's pretty short, although it looks short, it's pretty packed. We have the Watertown Campus Nursing Student Concerns. That's gonna be an overview presented by Senators Avila and Dirks. And then Dr. Beth Giles will be coming in here to both discuss her issues as provost and listen to more of our concerns for the nursing students. We have our general reports at the end. Then we also are gonna talk about bill number 3. Hopefully there's, you've had time to read over it and discuss it. We have some election updates. We do have a new resolution for the holy month of Ramadan, which I sent that out. And then there's a 3-year plan debate, the big one for our budget approval that's happening tomorrow. That's the big ones. Any questions on this? Oh, I do have to point out, this is a amended agenda. I just kind of took some minutes away and added some minutes elsewhere to make some of the math add up. But if that's okay with everyone,
Move to approve.
move to approve.
Second.
Second from Senator Mattson. Thank you so much. Any discussion? Seeing none online nor in person, we can do a vote of unanimous approval. If no one's opposed, this motion passes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, motion carries. The agenda is approved. Welcome, Mr. Victor. Okay, so we can move on to public comments from the Watertown Campus Nursing Student Concerns. For this portion, I do know that there are some people in the room, so let's just introduce them before we even get started. So it's Chelsea Bauer, who's the regional campus manager for Watertown campus, as well as Watertown only. Okay, so we have her in here. We have Tina Ajedo, or Valentina, who's in here, who is the vice president of student affairs. So welcome back, Tina. We see you so much. So you're like our, unofficial advisor right now. So thank you for being here yet again. And then we also have Kristen Wilson. Yeah. We also have Kristen Wilson, who is a student in the pre-nursing program on the Watertown campus specifically. Also interested in joining Student Senate, who currently runs as a write-in candidate for that. And also in the room is Victor, I forgot your last name. Mendoza. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I knew it started with an F. Yeah. So we're getting there. But yeah, Victor's here as a guest. I don't know if you have a tie to the nursing program.
Oh, no.
No. Okay, so he's just here to listen and learn.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And Shauna Marquardt's here now too, who's also a regional campus manager for
Dean of the regional.
the dean of the regional campus. Okay, sorry. Learning titles here. So thank you
That's
everyone for
okay.
joining.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you want to give like a brief overview, so Angel and Lando, if you want to step up, give an overview. I'm going to put you on a timer, and then hopefully Kristen can give additional comments, and then we can just kind of have a conversation here.
Yeah. Alrighty, so I'm just gonna do the brief introduction to how we got to this point. So back on March 5th, I was contacted at the request of the students at Watertown. They have just sent a representation the week of the 24th, so this week, to come and discuss with them about their experiences, as well as hear some of the potential rumors and concerns that were kind of going around. We just wanted to have us to come and listen to them as we are in the Senate. So at the meeting, we had about 20 to 24 students present. We had our campus manager for the Fort and Portage came and stepped in for us, and so that was Callie. I don't remember her last name. I think it's Schultz. And then a faculty member was present who teaches AP 1 and 2, and unfortunately, I'm forgetting her name as well, but she is 1. So that is the backstory as to why we're at Watertown. This is something that we planned in the making. Go ahead.
Yeah, so our commitment to the students not stop only towards
we are extending it to the regionals, so please keep that in mind. We gather at the regional campus on Watertown, the 24th of this month at 11:30 a.m. Thanks to the advisor for coordinating this meeting as well as Chelsea. There have been a great resources and overall help us out to tackle this concerns that students have on the Watertown campus, the nursing department. So the root causes and concern. So the causes are taking so the classes. So it's all about the classes and the petitions as well. So we can I share that?
You want some help?
Yeah, can we share it so they can actually see how much
On the screen.
on the
Yeah, if you,
yeah, I got you.
if you want to, go ahead, try to pull it up if you're in the meeting.
Can you pull it up?
One of the big things that was mentioned as Angel pulls it up for the classrooms is just that with the associate nursing program, there is a time period of approximately 2 years of prerequisite classes you have to take before you petition into the nursing program. And so that was just something that was raised to us. It's something we were learning as well with the nursing program as a whole. And then Angel will take over from there.
Yes, so as you can see, everything is on the website on the Madison Technical College. I just took the actual petition request for students. So if a student actually requests petition to actually be part of the of that class, and they only have room for 14 students. So one of the questions that it was brought to our attention was it was before 24, it went down to 14, and now it's going back to 21, if I'm not mistaken.
Close. So previously it was 24 students could petition into the program.
12 in the fall, 12 in the spring.
Yep, and it was then, the number was brought down to 21, period of time before we were in run with here. And now the concern that was raised is that there are wondering if that's going to be reduced down to 14, as that has been something that the students have heard and we said that we would look into because obviously learning along with this process. So the reduction of 21 individuals petition to start the fall semester of the nursing program being reduced down to 14.
Just gonna clarify the question.
Go
Is this only for the Watertown, that number of students, or is this between, all of the nursing students?
So it sounds like the Watertown campus, and I believe, is it Reedsburg? They also have their
Yeah.
nursing program. I believe they have not switched.
No, so it is 14 students. The Reedsburg does a fall start and a spring start to our understanding for the nursing program.
Watertown only does a spring start.
Fall, only does a fall
Also
start.
does a fall start.
We got about 1 minute left in the summary. If we could just try and keep it, I mean, we obviously have as much time as we need, but
Yeah, so it's just that the students actually have to take a lot of general classes before they can petition. Those classes are core classes. Is delaying that process of 2 years and adding those 2 extra additional years through waiting. They have like a waiting list. So that's the biggest concern that we are trying to bring it to the table. How can we better assist the capacity for the classes? And as well, if they can bring those classes for more semesters fall on spring, not only just one semester, because it delayed that process for the students. So if we got new students coming in to the actual program, then the students that have been there for maybe 2 semesters waiting, it creates a bigger list of students that can be admitted to just one class for that specific class, so they can actually proceed on their journey of becoming a nurse.
And so just real quick to summarize, essentially, the biggest concerns that were brought forward, essentially they'd like some additional seats for the fall and spring start. It sounded like 24 was the goal for that.
24 was the previous number.
Yes.
Yeah, we can talk about
24 each, I believe. And then that's another thing is that students transferring from the Truex campus nursing program to the Watertown campus. we'd like to know, or the nursing students would like to know if that would bump them down in the priority list, or if that would essentially, give that truex student priority over that one spot.
So yes, just to summarize it quick, the main things that the students at Watertown are looking for our assistance with and just identifying and understanding, because there is a lot of kind of unknown at this point, is will there be that reduction of 21 students able to petition to start the fall to 14?
Yes.
It's unknown at the time. That is just something that they've been hearing. We obviously want to help them in finding that information, what it's supposed to be through. Is there ever a possibility to begin the spring start for the nursing program like Truax and Reedsburg have, because that was once at the Watertown campus? And then the third and the bigger one is there are some courses that will not be offered out at the East Region campuses, Fort Atkinson and Watertown, that are prerequisites for the program. That fall under a different category, not necessarily within nursing, that they have to accomplish. And so looking at that concern as well of that availability. Those are the largest concerns that we took away from that meeting. That's our time.
And also, one last thing I'll add is that I talked to Kevin today, and he mentioned how some students actually come from the Truax campus specifically down to Watertown because there's not enough spots. So sometimes they take that class too, if it when needed, not always, but
Yep.
sometimes it does happen.
That is our summary of it.
Yes. Okay, thank you. At this point, I do think that, Kristen probably has like the best personal experience of that. So I don't know, we gave our summary of it. I don't know if you're listening right now, if you're able to, tell us how much we got right, how much you think you would add on, or what your personal experience is.
Okay, so thank you again for allowing me to attend this meeting. I don't know, like it's just bringing up a lot of emotions, like hearing you guys talk about this, because it's like coming from a student and then having like these bunch of girls like line up with me, and to know like that like there's not going to be not a lot of spots when we were told, like we were promised there wasn't a wait list, to now like there's only 14 seats. And I just seen one of my old classmates that was in my chemistry class just like an hour ago, and she's like, yeah, I petitioned for Madison and I'm being able to transfer over to the Watertown campus in the fall. And like that's two people transferring from Madison over to here. And like the biggest concerns right now is like having enough seats, and if it is 14, to at least bump it up to 21 and a spring start, like at least, because then like if they don't offer a spring start, then we have to wait a whole nother year. And then on top of the 2 years to get our degree, on top of the already like 2+ years you have to do for the prerequisite classes, because I've been enrolled at this college since I think it was spring of 22. So I've been working at this very hard. And then like one of the other big issues is like transfer students, is like how that puts us as a disadvantage for the Watertown students, and making sure like before they can transfer over to have our petitioning process finished. And if there's open spots, let the transfer students come in. And yeah, we're just really pushing for more seats, because we got our whole AP1 class that are going to take a bunch of classes over the summer and be able to petition to get in for the fall. We have Jane's, that's the AP teacher, her AP2 students from last semester and AP2 students this semester that will be ready to be fully completed with their courses at the end of this semester. So I'm in micro and AP2, and once I'm done with these, I'm ready to go. And it's just like a lot, I just hear a lot of like, all the like these girls are just heartbroken because they're like, what are we going to do? And I heard from an outside source, when someone here at Madison College, I'm not going to say who, that went to go check out another college, and that college had said to them that there has been 5 students already in the last couple weeks coming from Madison College to go check out Herzing at this place. And it made my heart really sad, because I love Madison College. I love the community. I have learned a lot from this college, and I like to represent Madison College as a whole. And just to hear that makes my heart really, really sad. So if there's like any underlying issues that can be resolved here, and then we also have a meeting set up for April 1st for the deans of the nursing program to meet us, the Watertown students, at the Watertown campus as well. So as us as students are working very diligently to get answers and to push for these seats, because inevitably, like 14 seats isn't enough for when there's like 30+ people trying to petition for the fall. And that's what I got right now.
Are the seats for anatomy and physiology or are they for microbiology? I might have misunderstood when I sent my email.
AP
earlier.
one, AP two, and microbiology, yeah.
So
So,
which one is it?
so are you looking for like seats for the nursing program? Okay,
Yeah.
so there's people ready to like petition that are in AP2 and micro right now, and then AP2 that they did last semester, like the kids in AP2 are ready to petition, and then there's also students in AP1 that I know a bunch of them are going to do AP2 and micro over the summer and have taken their HESI exam already. So like that's out of the way, and to petition for the fall. And so if I got confused a little bit on like the seats, it's just the number of seats that are going to be awarded for the nursing program starting in fall of 2025, if that makes sense.
Oh, the total number of seats for the whole program is what you're saying?
Yeah, because right now, like for the whole program, what we were told that there was no wait list, and yes, it went from 24 seats in the nursing program to 21, and now like this time around, this to hear that there's only 14 seats, and then now 2 transfer students are taking 2 of those seats already. Like that's, like I feel like it's putting the Watertown students at a very big disadvantage for their chances of getting into the nursing program here at Madison College for the Watertown campus.
Thank you for sharing.
Yep.
Does anyone in the room have?
Yeah, no one, I don't think a few seats have been taken yet because no one's admitted until after April 2nd. So I think I'm excited about this. I talked to Carrie Kleminski, the Dean of the School of Nursing today, and she's coming out on April 1st. And I think one of the things that we can collectively do is really remember where we're getting our information from. So I think there are seats. I think I'm sad that your heart is sad. I don't think it needs to be sad. I've run the data, and the leaders of the Watertown campus have a plan that's been emailed to them that they've had for a while of what preconditions need to be met to continue to grow the nursing program there. We would love to have 3 cohorts, which would be 21 students. That is in hand and hopefully being a work in progress by regional campus leadership. So I'm excited. I think this is great for Madison College that we have more people that want to become nurses. And I think that I don't think that we are running a risk of someone not getting in. And I don't think that anyone from Madison is taking a Watertown seat. I think when we have capacity at Watertown, if people at Truax listed Watertown as their second choice, they can go to that program. But I think the Dean of the School of Nursing is looking forward to coming in April, and no one at all is opposed to having the discussion about the precondition to have 3 cohorts there. That would be great. We would love that and welcome that. And again, that roadmap exists already and has been in circulation a long time. So I think what's happening is we're getting some confusion or mixed messaging back and forth. And my concern here is that you all, the students, are being put in the middle of something that is already sort of, the discussion is happening. And I'm not sure that all the people authoring that discussion are saying the same words to you. But please know that we're supportive of the nursing program in Watertown, and Carrie is looking forward to coming up and chatting with you.
Can you expand on that plan just briefly? That
No.
you said is in the works?
I was not included in it at this time. It was between the regional leadership and nursing leadership, which I trust our deans and our regional leadership to be the CEOs of their school and work together. So those things are not, I don't have a copy of it, so I cannot speak to it.
Matt, if you could speak.
Yeah, I think the problem that I see here is that there maybe needs to be some type of memorandum of understanding so that there's these students are clear on how the process works beyond
Yeah.
petitioning. And for example, when they petition, if they're already a Whitewater student, are they first versus someone coming from 2X or, Reedsburg? And I think that's where the gap of information is here and why there is, rumors and stuff. I mean, when you don't know what's going on, you can only try and collect information from sources that are around you and available. So I would request as a student senator that there is some type of memorandum of understanding presented to the students so that they have a clear understanding
Yeah.
of what the, basic process is. Yes, you have to complete these classes, but then also, are you, first, if you're already at Watertown, if you're already at Reedsburg, are you first? If someone is petitioning from another campus, are they secondary if the Watertown spots are still open?
That is my understanding, but yes, I think that's a very fair ask, right? I think in any situation, an absence of a narrative causes you to create your own narrative. And sometimes where we're going is that the narrative is not one that will, there's more, this might not go my way, then things will turn out all right. Sometimes we have to work to things will turn out all right. But I have not, had any indication that this is a program that will not thrive. We just need to meet those preconditions of thriving, which are, again, leadership has had these discussions. So that, yeah, I think that's a very fair ask. Very fair ask.
Yeah, Dr. Giles, I do think that one of the things, I don't know, it's from what I heard from Kristen, it sounds like they were under the impression, so it sounds like you also seem to understand this, that they're under the impression that there might not be enough seats for all of them to go on. Because I think where they're coming from, because I understand this as well, like they're looking at it and saying, oh, I might not get a seat, and I'm part of this program if it's only offered in the semester, and then I'm gonna have to go an entire another year and all my plans are being derailed. I feel like that might be what they're thinking, just based on what I'm hearing.
So I
So
went back
I
to
wasn't there,
2014,
so,
and we haven't had a Watertown student not get in since 2014 into the program.
So Kristen, what can you maybe share what some of the experiences are on your campus, like where your cohort is feeling like they might not get a seat? Is there something that happened where you felt like your group might not get their seat? And then I'd see Chelsea after you.
I from just what I've been hearing is just like there's 14 seats, and like since there's such a big cohort, and it was a great point pointed out that like yes, petitioning is April 1st. So no one has like from the Watertown campus has like directly petitioned not till the 1st. That's when applications go out from my understanding. But it's just like it's just such a large cohort, and to know like and have the feelings of like we might not get in and having to wait another year. Cause like there are probably some students that like personally for me, like if I got accepted to Madison, like that's a pretty far drive for me, however many days a week that is. But it's just really like those seats we heard that they got lowered, and it's just freaking everybody out and just like stressing everybody out to know like if there's going to be enough seats for the person to be accepted into the nursing program, if that makes sense.
Thanks for sharing that. I do see Chelsea, you had a comment to make. I think I'll be the last one for this portion of it.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out that the department chair for the School of Nursing did come and talk to the AP2 students about like the capacity and what that would look like for the fall. And that's where like they had mentioned too, the 14 seats, they did say that like depending on how many people would petition, and once they start doing that on April 1st, that they would try to advocate for more seats. But that was something that the department chair did come and talk to the AP2 students. But just to echo what you guys had said, I think that having like more of those conversations and being more transparent with the students would be really helpful as far as like the petition process and the changes to those with how it's going to continue in the future with the change in the petition to not having the petition.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone, for coming here, sharing your perspectives. I'm glad we got everyone into a room and hopefully, got more information, understanding. It sounds like you have a meeting on April 1st. So that's good. That meeting is not a joke. Get it? Okay, whatever. Small little thing there, but it sounds like you are making progress on this issue and everyone's starting to pay attention and look at it. And I feel like there should be I'm hoping for, the happy ending where everyone gets what they need. And we'll make sure that everyone, is able to get to the program that they need to and continue the educational journey that they signed up for. Because when they started, you had an idea. And hopefully, we're going to do what we can to get you to the finish line. Or put you in the opportunity where you can do it yourself, I guess. But yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. With that, I guess, you had some specific things to say, right? Or is this all wrapped up together? Did you have a pre-plan coming here to talk about like your specific portion of as a provost, or was it for this?
No, I think I was invited, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So not necessarily specific
Okay.
talking points. Just thank you as always for the invitation to be here. And thank you for serving on Student Senate. This is an important part of our college and what we need to make sure that our college has both a culture and an academic program that thrives. So I think last time I, came in and talked with you, what I really value is the conversation and the things that I hear from you about where we move our college forward. I think what's so interesting, especially now at this time, is the decisions that have to be made at different levels. And again, being aware of where we're getting our information and where we're consuming our information. So for every answer that we have to give for someone getting what they need, there's also someone who will be on the opposite end of that. So when I think about some of the federal grants that are being cut right now, and I worry for some of the programming that we're doing that might be affected by those federal grants, my role and the role of the senior leadership at Madison College is one that has to make decisions about what we're doing, where we have to look across what matters to us. You all as students matter the most. Contributions to the workforce, right? So even if I had 100 students saying, I really don't want you to cut that program on fixing rotary phones, I would have to look out at the workforce and say, no one has rotary phones anymore. Some of y'all probably don't even know what I mean by rotary phones. There were these round things, right, with the dial. I know, earlier today I said in a class, it's not like Cher. And then I'm like, oh my God, people don't know who Cher is anymore. So she's a singer. So I think thinking about the balancing of what people need, when they need it, the fiscal implications, the workforce implications, and I will throw in the reputation of Madison College and our education, because I'm not willing to sacrifice that. So I'm not willing to put up a course if we have no one to teach it that's qualified. I would never do that to y'all, right? I can't put up a course for nursing assistant with 4 students, even though those 4 students matter, because you have to take blood so many times that we will run out of arms, right? So there's a multitude of small details we take into consideration when we're making difficult decisions about academic programming. But one of the things that I don't take lightly and that we say, and this is where I think it's sometimes difficult to be seen, is you'll hear us say we keep students at the center. But if being at the center means you are at the center, but you are not getting something that you need in the way or the time or the delivery mode that you need it, then you won't feel like you're at the center. So I think sometimes we have to really think about like, wait, this is a need for me, and the role of the college is to meet the needs of students across multiple programs. So this is a crazy life. Provost life is a crazy, crazy life. I love it. I have one more meeting after today, and after this even. But it's everything I signed up for, and there's not a day that I don't go home thinking, this is absolutely it. This is what I want to do and where I want to be. And I say all the time to where you're sick of hearing it, but I mean it every single time. This place and what we can do at this place is nothing short of magic. It absolutely is.
So you mentioned just now the obsolescence of rotary phones and how you wouldn't offer a program on that because of that fact. Is that the main barrier to why those seats are being reduced? I'm trying to understand what the specific issue is. Maybe that was stated earlier, but
No, rotary phones and nursing are not compatible in any way. So I think we're trying to make sure that we have the people and the programs in place where there's student demand. As I shared, we haven't not admitted a Watertown student into the nursing program since 2014. So if 21 people show up and petition, and we have the people, and we're already rearranging some people in case this happens, right? When we have 21 people petition, we can move then. What I can't operate on is thinking there might be 50 people petitioning. There might be 300 people. So when that April 1st, April 2nd dates open and people are able to petition and we see the numbers, if we have 14 seats and there's only 10 Watertown people, then similar to you all, there's people at Truax that are like, oh, wait, I'm going to get held up. So if we have 14 seats and only 10 Watertown people, we say to those 4 Truax people or Reedsburg or Fort Atkinson or Portage, there are 4 seats at Watertown. Would you like to go to Watertown? So I think what we really try to do is meet the student need across. We're one Madison College. We meet that student need collectively. So no, rotary phones and nursing were not the same example.
And Dr. Giles, I'm just gonna read this out from Kristen. She said, "Thank you for the kind words and motto with the girls. I say in the cohort is no one is left behind." So I do think she's
Yep.
looking forward that, making sure that the rest of the people in Watertown are able to get classes where they're at. Basically, thank you so much for joining and listening to our concerns. Know some of the girls can't make it on the first, but many are excited to meet with the dean and discuss the issue more in depth. And I really do think that, people are looking more forward, just like that communication. And I think Annette had probably the
Greatest
the
point.
wisest, what's it called, recommendation here, that a memorandum of understanding for students, just making sure that they know they can get access to that. I think that that'll do wonders for the communication aspect. Yeah.
And we're always definitely can put things like that together for what we can control, right? So we are at the mercy of the Wisconsin Technical College system that just changed a bunch, the nursing accreditation programs that are continually changing things. As well as, some of the things that are happening in our greater political climate. But to the extent that we can control things, we can put something forward in writing. And I think that's something that, whoever's going to the April 1st meeting, I think that's something to bring up with Dean Carrie Kleminski as well. And she's such a wealth of knowledge. She's, been a nurse, been a higher ed person. So it's really going to be a great meeting. In addition to getting your needs and requests out for the nursing program, just enjoy your time with her. She's a fascinating human.
I appreciate the opportunity for Kristen and Chelsea to hear this, because it sounds like what nursing students out at Watertown need is some of the certainty that you're bringing to the room here at Truax. This knowledge of going back 2014 and the trust that people are trying to meet their needs. Because it sounds like that just that didn't get across maybe to everyone.
Yeah, I think it's really developing a culture of listening to one another and understanding the difficult decisions that need to be made. So if 21 students show up, I certainly anticipate that we'll be able to meet their needs. But I also think, looking back at what has been set up, that we're happy to run 3 cohorts if this, and this happen. So we have to move some pieces around. So we move them when we have that need. Right now, we haven't had the need for 21 seats, because the last time there were 21 people was, spring of 2020, we had 21 and everyone got in. So I think as we see numbers, we adjust to those numbers.
And just to mention those numbers, there are 7, it's like required to have 7 students per instructor. So that's why it's
Which
14.
is low, right, and that number is lower than anything here. Nothing here can run with 7. We're trying really hard to make sure that we're investing in the regional campuses by allowing those numbers to be a little bit lower so we can run classes and not have a culture of class cancellation. Class cancellations don't serve students well. They create a big mess on the faculty end and reporting systems. So we want to put things up that we know will fill and run. That's how people instill and build confidence in an institute of higher education.
I think this will be one more question after Declan if needed.
So you said you are adjusting based on the expectation for students incoming or who will petition. Do you know what that number looks like? How many students are eligible to petition at Watertown currently?
I don't think we've put a number on that, but again, that's a question for Dean Kleminski. So we're not moving things yet because we don't know the number of students who have petitioned. So that window has to open, right? Like a Taylor Swift concert, that window has to open and then everybody will want a ticket. And then, you know, they move to a bigger venue to get everybody their ticket. So I don't know, that's a bad example because we're not moving to a different venue and we're not Taylor Swift. But I think we have to get through that petition process and then respond.
So the number of seats, that's a flexible thing.
That's a good question for Kara Kleminski, but I believe so. But again, we gotta see what happens. So we have to respond in real time to the students who are going to petition, because life happens as well, right? We may have 21 students that say they're gonna petition, and something could happen where one student wants to delay. Or goodness gracious, let's go with a positive example, someone wins the lottery. And they're like, okay, I don't need to be a nurse anymore. I don't want to be a nurse anymore. I hope they still would in their heart, because you don't go into that for the money. But it's better paying than education. So if you're thinking about a profession with a heart, go for nursing. So I think we can always look at our best laid plans, is that I'm gonna graduate in this, I'm gonna do this program, I'm gonna petition at this time. The reason that we have to have a petition program, right, is to manage those numbers and see what's happening. So someone might fall in love and move to Reedsburg, and then we need that seat to go to Reedsburg. They may fall in love with someone from Reedsburg. You never know.
So what you're saying is
It's a
that
human science.
it is a flexible thing.
Correct.
Yes.
Well, that's like wonderful. I think that provides a lot of assurance to the students putting in the work right now.
We haven't had a student not give in, to my knowledge.
Is there any other questions to Dr. Giles about this specific? Okay, last question to Evan.
Yeah, I don't want to take up too much of your time here, so I'll make it brief. But I guess I was just kind of curious. This kind of goes off on a tangent, but I'm just curious: do you think it's a little bit misleading to call the nursing program a 2-year associate's degree if they have to take like 1, 2, or maybe even more years of prerequisite classes? Just out of
Yeah, I
curiosity,
think-
because that's kind of a lot. It's
I
like almost a
think
4-year
timing,
degree.
I think any modifier of years is so subjective, right? For all of the things that we just talked about. You could get through any of our programs in any different amount of time if things play out perfectly, right? And maybe things don't play out perfectly on our end. Like we have a teacher that always teaches English 1 Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8:30. What if that person has to care for an elderly parent or has some surgery and we have to take that class down? That might, if you don't have flexibility in that schedule because you've got something else going on, that could add a semester. So I think we advertise that as all with a lot of our associate's degree, not just nursing, because that's certainly our hope. Things happen on the student end, things happen on the faculty end, things happen on the budgetary end, from our state budget to our federal budget to our grant budget, that can affect all of those things.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Okay.
I love coming to see you guys. Such good questions.
Yes.
Always inspired by you all.
Yes, and it does sound like Kristen's working with the girls, and it sounds like, these are very well appreciated that you came here and talked about this. So thank you very much for that.
Sure.
Yeah, and then, did you have,
Other questions?
yeah, other questions related to the program or just in general?
No, in general. Would you like to know from me?
Okay, I would say, okay, you got it first.
So this is specific to me, of a situation that happened with me. So I had knee surgery January 15th. Didn't want to have it, but needed to have it because my knee was deciding for me. And when I went to Disability Services to try and get my accommodations, once I had a better idea of what to expect, I didn't know what really was involved with the full knee replacement. I got denied initially. Then I, for what I was asking for, which I didn't even know what I should be asking for, I'll be real honest with you. And then I, with that denial, I received you should do a medical drop for the semester, which I thought was totally unfair. Because, that there's still things that I could do, and some of my classes were online. And I guess I have to tell you a little bit more before I summarize it. When I received my accommodations, or at least some accommodations, they did not date back. So I have like scores of subjective scores, like 3 out of 5 or a point for an assignment or 2 out of 5. And then, I don't know, it's just,
Yeah.
it's very unique. And I just wonder now if there are other people in situations like that where they, have a baby, for example, but I'm guessing there's more things in place for that. But they have some sort of surgery that they're not expecting to have. And then once they know that they definitely need to do it, there's got to be a better plan with DRS than
Yeah.
that. And I think I'm a pretty good advocate for myself. But I really didn't know like what I should be requesting,
Mhm.
and no one was really offering information. They were just like, what do you need? Well, I think I need some flexible attendance with my internship or, my class, because obviously I tried to go into my class when I was heavily medicated and couldn't even get the sound working. It was just ridiculous, but I just wanted to tell you about that
I
experience.
appreciate that.
And then I got a letter. They told me to get a note from my doctor. Then they told me to get another note from my doctor. And then my doctor wrote a note at my 6th week, and he's like, really, those first 4 weeks, there should be some, letting you make up or whatever type stuff. And some people are flexible with that and other ones are not. And I showed it to the DRS person because we happened to run into each other in Goodman South. And it didn't really seem to matter. It was more like you should be appreciative that, that person gave you 3 out of 5 because your services didn't start until you had an official plan as of that date. Even though I had to go through an appeal, which I requested. I'm like, no, I'm not dropping out of school. That's what I mean. But I just wanted to give you that
Yeah.
example of transparency that's lacking.
Yeah. For my role, right, which is supporting and the faculty and academic portfolio, we talk about people in these situations at multiple faculty trainings, including new faculty trainings where people are new to the institution. I can't speak to DRS. That is in Tina Aedo's portfolio, and she's here with us today. So I'm glad that she heard this example, so she and I can put our heads together and think about what the role is at DRS, but I can certainly, again, in my role of communicating with faculty, make sure that they know that someone in health situations that happen suddenly, right? We have a student population here where things happen and people are expecting an opportunity to talk with their instructor and being given accommodations so that they can still succeed.
Thank you.
Sure?
Sounds good.
We still got time, if not.
Yeah, we have time.
Yeah, so, thank you. I really do, so you spoke about magic, right? That fire that
100%.
drives people to actually fulfill, certain things. So on the meeting on Monday, we had the students come in and they had the same spirit. They have the same, passion about achieving this, nursing, goal. So it just microbiology. There was a few leaders that were advocating for the position, Chelsea and Sean. They're present here today as well. And I mean online. They are actually it was not maybe feasible to be offered that class on the fall, just to see what avenues students may pursue or they have, what options they have to be able to have this class being offered summer and fall, like.
Yeah. This came to me this morning. So I just grabbed the dean in the last meeting that I was in and said, hey, we need to talk about this. So we'll see what we can do. Best case scenario is that we can make a change to make sure people can get that microbiology class. People are making, the best decisions they can about the faculty they have and where the students are, right? So I think we have to think carefully about what format that class is, when it is in relation to not just Watertown, but all the regional campuses, as well as Goodman South, as well as who needs it from our Commercial Avenue campus and Truax. So it's a complex
Yes.
system, but I have heard the microbiology need and we'll follow up with that school. I think that's the best, even with the nursing petition as well, it's about being heard It's about following up, and as Annette articulated, it's about understanding the why of a decision, even if that decision doesn't go the way that you want it to right away for fall 25, thinking about how we can put that into the docket to know that we have to attend to that need. So it would be unethical of me to sit here right now and promise you that I can get a microbiology section up. But what I can promise you is that I hear you about this situation and about the petition situation. I'm glad Carrie is coming to talk with you and, reaffirm, hear your needs again. And as this college continues to grow at our regional campuses and at Truax and at Goodman South, we're going to have more of these issues, right? Our students are going to grow faster than we can grow space-wise. We're out of space in a lot of places. And the number of faculty that we need does not increase at the same rate that our students need. So we're working on it. But yeah, definitely heard, and we'll follow up on that one, on both of these issues. They're so important. And it really is what I always have to remind myself a lot is to take a step back, and I have to look at the landscape of growth across programs, across branches of our college, across our students, across our global partners, across our workforce partners. It's big. It's big.
It is, and thank you. I do appreciate it for being here and answering these questions and being a leader on,
Absolutely.
We do
Happy to
appreciate
be here and hope that I'm painting a picture for you as you think about what you want to do for your next steps in life, that this level of work is so incredibly complex, and you have to ask yourself, are you willing to make tough decisions? Decisions that leave people out. I can tell you it feels terrible. It feels terrible. I walk in every day and love this place, and every day I wish I could do more when I leave. Every single day. So as you think about your leadership positions in the future, thinking about, are you willing to take on a job where you have to make really tough decisions that will let some people down? And if you're willing to do that, what is the best way, getting back to Annette's point, the most transparent you can be so that people know what's happening, even if what's happening is not what they had hoped for. People deserve to be heard, right? And responded to. And so thinking about leadership from that lens, what are your leadership values going to be? How are you going to carry them out at a particularly challenging job? And then I would also advocate for you to think about who you do them with, right? So who are you building on your team that you know will have your back? So that when you have to make a difficult decision, that of 4 regional campuses, let's say, I can grow a cohort at 1 for 25, 26, and a different campus for 26, 27. Or I can continue our Department of Corrections work in only 1 of the 4 prisons that we're in. And we have to decide which one. I need to know as a leader that I'm working with a team that has my back in understanding that decision and is supporting it and working to creatively problem solve it instead of working against it. And so I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to come here and hear from you so I can continue to say, these are the people that we're talking to that will have our backs in leadership. So I'd like coming here also to help you think about, as you go forward from here, shouldn't be at Madison College forever. As much as I love our students, I'd love to keep you all here forever.
I'm ready to graduate.
You should, right? There's a reason that I sit up on that stage with my colleagues in April and December to send you on to that next part of your life. What characteristics are you thinking about from yourself as a leader? It took me a long time to get to this position, not because I couldn't have gotten here quicker and ran up a trajectory or ran up a leadership ladder. But when you get here, you need to know and have the confidence in building your team, being transparent, and making decisions that have 2 sides.
Perfect. I think you had a question, which is leading off of that really. It's a perfect transition.
Yes, I was
All
actually, yeah, so this is kind of a big question, so it kind of relates to college expansion. So, one of the key issues, I guess I hold kind of near and dear to my heart are, and that I've been researching over the past year is, community college baccalaureates. I don't know if you've ever heard of, the Community College Baccalaureate Association, or the whole idea of like a community college or technical college offering or administering a bachelor's degree. Um, Obviously, a community college is a separate entity from a technical college, though there are technical colleges, like including in Virginia, I believe, that, and other states that offer bachelor's degrees. So I guess I'm just wondering, out of curiosity, I think it's 25 out of 50 states have community colleges or technical colleges that offer bachelor's degrees. We were the first, the WTCS was the first institution in the entire United States to institute a junior college system, which I find kind of interesting. So I also find it interesting that we're still not one of them that offers bachelor's degrees. What would we have to do that would allow us to eventually, I guess I'll just say one more thing. Usually when community colleges offer bachelor's degrees, they try to focus on high demand career areas such as nursing, business administration, and education. So could you ever see us doing something like that? If so, how would we go about eventually achieving that?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, that's definitely a decision that would be made, you know, at our presidential level. I think where we're deciding to invest instead is in our transfer programs.
Yeah.
And we've been so clear where, believe me, I'm in the conversations with a lot of my WTCS colleagues. And we're so clear about advocating not just for a random collection of 60 credits that you take to a four-year institution, but for a program to program transfer, things like junior standing that helps you get to where you need to be at your bachelor's degree institution, credit for prior learning, agreements such as that, and different types of institutions, right? So from Platteville to Milwaukee School of Engineering, those are our strongest engineering partnerships. A UW school, a private school, somewhat more rural, somewhat very urban. So people have a choice. We also have a very strong Universities of Wisconsin, still getting used to saying that, UW system. That's worked really hard to create specializations throughout their campuses and their schools. So I think this would be a decision that we'd want to make at a statewide level, because eventually, right, we would need to make sure that we aren't working against one another.
Right, exactly.
And our, you know, some of our UW schools have such strong and amazing programs that to think that we could replicate it, I'm just not sure that that's where we would be putting our energy. But I agree that it is happening. The other interesting trend is that I think Purdue just launched Degree in 3. So that's of concern to me, that if people are going to have to start choosing between a 2-year associate's degree or a 3-year baccalaureate degree, then we've got some work to do to make sure that we are demonstrating the value.
Yeah, to follow up on that, I guess the main reason I kind of became interested in this issue is just kind of purely based off of affordability, I guess.
Mhm.
The average cost of like tuition for like a semester at UW is somewhere between like 10 and 12,000, so that's about $22,000 a year, versus at METC it's like literally like 2,500. Like that's what I just paid for.
Right.
You know, so I feel like the main reason to kind of institute, you know, bachelor's degrees eventually amongst the Wisconsin Technical College system would be to promote higher accessibility to education for those who don't feel like they have the adequate means to achieving or obtaining that degree. Right?
Here's
So-
something interesting to consider though, with the expansion that it would take us to go to bachelor's degree, would we have to raise tuition? Right?
Maybe
So
just
with
for the bachelor's degree.
expansion- With expansion comes cost. And so I think all of these things, again, this is like the conversations I'd love to have.
Yeah.
It's like
it's
a
fun.
huge, right, it's a
Thinking,
huge
right? You know,
strategic puzzle, right? So if then, all these if thens, I just taken the LSAT, my whole life is like one big
Wait, what?
law
You took
school
the
admissions
LSAT?
test. If anyone here has, yeah. everyone.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
law
my
student?
life is like one big law school admissions test, right? This if then, if 18 people get on the elevator and person 4 has to get off on floor 3 and blah, blah, blah.
Gotcha.
So I think, every time we get an opportunity like that, right? An opportunity to offer bachelor's degrees instead of just associate technical diplomas. What would it take? Would we do it in all areas or just as you articulated, areas of high workforce demand? Where would the funding come from, right? Are we relying on our state legislator or are we getting underwritten by a corporation that wants us to do this? And then how much say do they think they have in our curriculum if they gave us the funding? So I think this is a fascinating trend. I see it, and I was out in Philadelphia for a conference in February. Tina, Vice President Ayala was there as well. And I had, Dr. Casper had to leave early, so I had the opportunity to go to the president's luncheon. And these are the topics that like people are talking about, right? Like, when do we pull that lever? Where, why, and most importantly, how? But I love that you brought it up, and I would love to talk further about the research that you're doing.
I think there'll be a lot of opportunity for you to send an email. You can have a conversation about it, especially in the summer, because I know you're gonna be around here. He's gonna be running for another year.
All right.
So that'll be good. Last thing I'll mention, no comment on this, but I'm just mentioning to you that I'll be reaching out to, so I talked to Sylvia about this. I talked to, I think, Tina about this as well, but the rule for when people get hired onto our college, having their experience as a student count towards their job experience when they apply for a job here, because currently it doesn't seem to count for it the way HR interprets that rule. I know it's not exactly your
That's interesting though.
area because you're academics. But it is interesting that if you want to work here, that won't count towards it. You need experience outside of it when you are earning the degree. And so we just want to make sure that that's counted because Annette
Can I
has
add
a
that
lot of
in there?
experience. Very quickly.
Yeah, very quickly.
Yeah.
So it says 2-year post experience. So after you get your degree, but what if you have experience prior to
While
Right,
you're
so-
getting your degree or prior.
Right,
Okay,
just like
yeah.
me, yeah. Like Annette has had experience before. I've had experience
Yeah.
before, but doesn't none of that count?
Seems like a semantic.
That's right. So that's just, we'll be talking to Rose, which your
Yes.
presidential cabinet should hear about fairly short. So thank you very much for coming today. We talked
Sure.
about a lot of issues.
Sure.
And yeah, we really
You
appreciate you
know where
coming
to
today.
find me. I'll have my email. Or if someone has my email,
Okay.
find me, email me. I walk around a lot, I'll pop in.
Okay,
So,
let's
yeah.
give Dr. Beck.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Wow, you were almost exactly on time, only a little bit over. That's like a record for us.
Question.
Appreciate it. Okay, no, hi, do you have a team building activity? Great, I'm so glad that you said no, because that was exactly what I wanted you to say.
I know.
So,
Gonna be okay.
busy schedule, so you anticipated my need and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I read in
Perfect.
your mind.
Love it, love it. Disclosures and recusals, if anyone has anything to disclose regarding the bill that we're gonna vote on, bill or resolution today. I don't think you need to disclose anything, I don't know, you wrote it, and you participated in Ramadan, but I
Yeah.
don't.
I'm
It's very clear.
Secretary of Muslim Student Association.
Oh, I didn't know that. That is actually important to say. Is anyone else affiliated with Muslim Student Association? No, well, that's fine. It's very good that you are cross collaborating your, what's it called? The issues that you care about. So that's good. Moving on, nothing else from notice? Okay. Reports from officers, advisors, standing committees. Cole's gonna bring this up, in his report as well, but, can you time me? Sure, just
Go ahead,
mentally,
go ahead.
5:34, 5:36, I'll
Yeah,
stop.
go ahead.
Yeah, the big things to note is that our stipend review is gonna be coming out not this week, but next week. So I'll be sending it over to Cole so that we can send that out. We'll talk about it. It'll get sent out on Thursday, so we can talk about it in the meeting and we'll have a report back by when, Cole?
To get it back,
Yeah, get it back by what, like April 18th?
was planned for mid-April, mid to the second, third of April is when it'll be due. We'll identify a valid time before then. Because I also have to get out the competency survey and that'll be
Sure.
going out next week, Friday. So plan for the second part of April. We will have more concrete information here in the near future.
Like the 18th or the 25th? Think about it.
We'll probably shoot for closer to the 18th, just to
Okay,
give us
great.
enough time to get everybody.
Exactly, that's
more
what I was
information.
thinking. Yep, we're thinking about also canceling the meeting for April 10th.
Yep.
If that's okay with everyone, because Cole and Jose are gonna be gone at the WTCS meeting. I don't know if you're invited to that too, Annette. Are you invited to the new? No, okay, so it's just for the
Yeah,
new.
that's
ambassadors.
usually the,
Yep,
that's
they're
the
just coming in.
training.
Okay, that's their training, so that they'll be there, so that's really cool. The last thing to mention is that we've gotten through a lot of things this year. Like, this is it, like this budget discussion that we're having like today and then tomorrow, like that's pretty much it. And then it's kind of, I mean, we're kind of gonna be coasting, so just keep that in mind. There's a couple of things we want to wrap up. I know that we want to talk to Kim Henderson, bring her back in. I know that we want to talk about the, what's it called, the hiring issue with HR. And I know we want to, I don't think books gonna come on, textbooks is gonna come in this Senate. I think it'll be a next Senate thing. So, but those are some things to keep in mind, and maybe we can tackle one more issue before the end of it all. And there's a couple of bills that I'd like to start talking about, but those are what's coming up. And yeah, I think my time's up. Perfect. Okay, any questions? Quick questions, one question allowed. No questions. Moving on. Administration Finance Committee, VP Tao.
We processed two requests Monday, one for membership fee and one for travel funding for Diesel Club, and which is under American Skills at USA. The end of my report.
Perfect. Any questions? Hearing none, we can move on. Rules and Legislative Affairs Committee, VP Hoskins.
Yeah, elections, they will start on, the ballots will open on 31st, 8 AM. And then they will close on the 4th April, at 12 PM.
4th of April?
Yeah, Friday.
Friday, April
It's a short window. Yep.
It's just one week window for,
Oh, I was looking at the calendar wrong. Yep, that makes sense.
yeah. Yeah, make sure you vote whoever you want to vote for. Tablings are happening for potential candidates. You can request tabling through Cole or Student Life front desk, I guess. And then, yeah, and then also you can write in names if you don't see the person who you're voting for. Yeah, just a quick reminder that you cannot use your Senate money to print, and then for printing materials. Yeah, that's it for my report.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Any questions for Hassan? Seeing none, we can move on. Thank you. Everyone's snappy today. I like it. Team Development Committee, VP Salifa?
No report.
Even better. Public Relations Committee, VP Jackson Winter.
I guess we're currently in the works of. Yeah, we're currently in the works of like.
Mhm.
Yeah. So.
I know you've been working with VP Hashman on that. He
Yeah.
showed me the 3 designs. I think the second one was not feasible. The wooden one's not feasible, right? So we're looking at either metal one or the
Yeah.
plastic one, or is it like some sort of,
Like enamel filament.
yeah, something like that, yeah.
And potential collaboration with the STEMs.
Yeah, and potentially buying it so we can keep it afterwards. I would love a memento to remember our time here together, so that'd be good. Okay, anything else? Any questions for VP Jackson Winters? Seeing none, we can move on. Thank you. Moving on to the advisor report. Advisor
I'm gonna
Cole.
take a little bit of your election update time, just so you know.
Sure.
So we are, some 72 hours away from elections opening, approximately, probably a little off. We have had 2 individuals drop out of the race. So with that, we have some folks that are recognizing they have other things coming up, which is awesome. But we also have now 3 confirmed individuals who will be writing in and having a writing campaign. So be advised that we may have lost 2, but we gained basically 1 more than what we had before, which is pretty legit. After talking with Director Ellie Rome yesterday and today, unless there's any opposition, which this won't go out till tomorrow. If you have opposition, tell me. Passive campaigning will be allowed next week. It's never been actively restricted. The only thing that won't be allowed is there will be no tabling allowed. So requesting anything that Student Life has, we won't allow that. But if you still want to talk in your classes, if you are running stuff like that, if you want to sit at a table down by the IE and have your flyer in front of you, just because that's there, cool, you just can't request anything through Student Life. But we will allow passive campaigning to continue as that has been allowed in the past. And I don't see any issue with that. There just won't be any disruption with that.
So you're saying like people probably can't go around like passing posters to people or something like that?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct, but the things that you could do before, like in the email, it stated, you could ask your professor to have 30 seconds at a class to talk about it. If they
Right.
approve you to do it next week, you can do it. Like that, we're not gonna restrict anything in that way. Yeah, Student Life just will not be involved in it. We're pretty much saying we're done with the active side of it, but what you want to do on your passive end is completely. up to you.
Great. Spend your own free time.
Any restrictions on like digital campaigning?
No, we can't
No,
control
we
social
can't
media,
control that.
so.
That's your personal space.
Yeah, go on
Yeah.
ahead. other, two big things real quick as I finish that out. Textbook Portability Committee, you talked about the textbook rental fee. They're talking about us. They really appreciated what we talked about, the meeting today, and they will be coming back to us, into the summer and into the next Senate to look at that to confirm it. So it hasn't been confirmed yet because they are actually having a lot of people, opt out, professors opt into the textbook, rental program, which is pretty awesome to hear. Finally, to any of you who are rerunning, if you are elected into Senate, I'm putting this out here now. NACA, the Student Government Institute, will be happening in June. And if you are reelected and accept the position, again, big what if, you have the ability to go to the Student Government Institute, and we will have to get that kind of going immediately upon who is elected, who accepts the role. I'll provide more information at that time, but just know that we're going to move quickly because the early time is May 3rd is the early enrollment time. So just up to know along with that. I'll take one question.
Quick questions, where is it, and then what are the dates, if you know?
It's going to be the end of June, June 25th to 27th, I believe. It's gonna be at Marian University in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Oh, this is.
Yeah, it is.
Same exact spot as it was this,
Nice.
I believe it was.
but
In regards to the election, when do you, okay, so I'm running.
Yep.
As a Senate, for a Senate position, because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get into the social work program, because I don't have some of the classes.
Sure.
So when do I have to register for classes? Because I'm still waiting to hear back from them too.
So,
That's my problem.
yep, so, registration, to confirm for registration classes, I will do that, after I offer up the position. So basically, the contingency of accepting the role is that you will be enrolling in courses. So if you are not able to enroll, we will have a time period. I'll confirm with Ellie. It's gonna be kind of quick, so I would say no more than maybe a week.
I mean, I can enroll in classes,
Sure.
I just won't know until they respond and.
How about if it comes down to that, you can talk with myself, VP Hashmi, and President Brito as individuals kind of within this, and then I'll confirm with Ellie what the next steps would be.
Okay.
And that we could have you enroll in courses and you can always drop out before the classes start.
That's always.
Yeah.
There's also that as well. So, all right, I think that's everything for me. Is there any other questions?
We got time for one question.
All right, I yield.
Seeing none, perfect. Thank you so much. Reports from special and select committees, Public Safety Advisory Committee. Declan or after?
Yes.
After.
So today we talked about our transition plan going forward, our current goals, what we think we can accomplish for the end of the semester, and then what we're hoping to pass on to the future PSAC. So we have 5 elements that we've identified so far for our current goals. That is, we're going to begin correspondence with public safety about implementing blue cards with summarized EAP or emergency action plan protocols. We're going to look into the pre-existing physical card summaries or, what they have for that program. We're going to identify who makes decisions on officer resources like that and find out what it's going to take monetarily or paperwork wise to implement a program. And then we're going to put together our reasoning for implementing this based on the earlier chaos this semester, which was discussed at the last GA. And then we're going to iron out exactly what's going to go on those blue cards and accessibility for ADA. What we would like future PSAC committees to focus on would be the longer term goal of EAP training going on to Brightspace, which is what we're transitioning off of Blackboard onto. And that would be a little bit more of a longer term goal, right? The Wolfpack welcome, EAP trainings, and then also maybe a Wolfie video, which I know Kai, you were sitting in on that. You mentioned you hadn't seen that yet, so that would be interesting to add. And then continued planning for the efficiency parking initiative and a pilot program probably next spring, because the north lot is looking like our next best option, given that the visitor lot is no longer something that public safety is willing to facilitate. We also, as an aside, do you actually want to take this part about the comms coordinator?
Yeah, so we had a brief discussion towards the end about the future of the communications coordinator role.
For a second then.
Declan brought up a great point. So what if we were to have the communications coordinator facilitate a committee? And then essentially during each of our committee meetings, we either have the person in charge of the meeting take the minutes for that meeting, or they assign like a comms person for that particular meeting. And then they all meet together with the comms coordinator and they can put that all, incorporate things into the minutes that way.
I think it could work. I also wonder if we're like spending too much time on like details when, again, like the meetings, if we record them, that's far more greater detail than any of the notes are.
Yeah.
So I just wonder I think it's a good idea. I think that we need to consolidate a little bit more, but I think it has promise. Yes.
Okay.
Just work on it more. Any questions for anyone else?
We achieve it this semester or
We put it as a future goal. The idea is that accessibility creates transparency. Not everyone has the time to review transcripts in detail, but looking at the minutes might be more palatable to a larger audience. And having those minutes on hand with maybe a communications committee and a communications coordinator role in each committee would help with that.
Sounds like we gotta do a little more thinking on that, so we'll get to a point another time where we can discuss that. Okay, unfinished business, elections update. Maybe Hashmi, anything else other than what you and Cole already discussed?
No.
And yeah, Cole's not in the room. I'm assuming that was everything. Does anyone else have any questions that maybe one of us could answer about the elections that we didn't get answered during that update? I don't see anything from anyone. Is anything online? Any questions from online before we move on completely? I don't see anything from anyone online. Okay, we can pull up bill number 3. Cole's not here right now, so I guess I have to do it. Oh, there you are.
I'm back.
We're pulling up bill number 3.
We were just talking about you.
We were summoning you.
Yeah. All right, yeah, I got
Like
it.
a
I actually have
witch.
it right here. Give me a second.
Okay, perfect.
Don't worry, I'm here to say.
Big. We already read this, so we don't need to read this again. Although I will note that there is one change in here. It was the change that no one else recommended a change. The only change that was in there was the one that Cole recommended, change it from 5 minutes to 3 minutes. So if you scroll down, I think it's over here. Yep, so candidates may have up to 3 minutes to speak to the Senate. Candidates may have up to a total of 3 minutes to answer the 3 questions. That's the only 2 things that changed there. So just, that was Cole's suggestion. We took it. Anyone else have any other points on this bill? Any questions about it? Any comments about it? Do we like it generally, or are we just okay with it? We want to get done with it. I'll take that one too. That gets things done.
Makes sense to me.
Makes sense to you. Our newest member says so.
It's pretty complicated, so I had a little trouble following all of it, but I think it kind of makes sense to me as far as I can see, so.
Yes, overall, the point of it was that if there's a tie, here's what we do.
It's good to have like a contingency of sorts in place in writing, so that in the off chance it does happen, that we have like a procedure just to follow by, instead of having to wing it and be like, what do we do? No.
Yeah, because it could happen. As Declan learned today, that there was a what was the position that ended up winning by 1 vote?
It was a
provisional
common
ballot.
seat in Kenosha.
Yeah, and there was also a common council seat in Madison that also won by only 1 vote. It was, I forget what district, but there was recently in our last election for Alder. So that did happen. It happens locally. So 1 vote can make a difference. Okay, with that, I guess, I would entertain a motion to approve. The motion is that the bylaws would be amended to add a new subsection to update the elections policy and provide an official procedure for how to select a Senate member in case of a tie during the Senate elections under Article 7 elections. Motion made by Senator Orlando Dirk, second made by Senator Angel Abdullah. Am I saying that right?
No, you did. Perfect.
Okay, great, perfect. Okay, a motion and second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we can go to a vote by roll call as we will do for all bills and resolutions. With that, I guess, are you ready? Oh, I see. I should have printed. See, this is where we need to print some things out. Okay, how do we do this? Let's make it quick. I think I have it up on SharePoint.
Worst comes to worst, I can check it on my end.
Mhm.
If you just run through it, and then I can get that over to you since I have Excel right here.
Yeah, do you have like the table open?
I can make it quick.
I think I got it. Hold on.
Okay.
I think it's in the drafts. I hope it is at least. I did not upload the Word version to the drafts.
Did I say an Alder was elected by 1 vote?
Yes.
You got it?
No, I was interested.
Yeah.
So I got-
Everyone who lives in Madison, vote for your older person, because some of them are up for, some of them are contested. Mine wasn't contested Tuesday.
Sure, we'll just run through this and do that. This is the draft version for that. We'll use that as the template. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'm so sorry. We should download this. Create a copy, download a copy. That way it doesn't edit the original. Yeah. I don't want to alter that. Now we're opening Word.
I got it right here. I can track over here for you, make it life easier.
We got it. Thank you so much. Sorry, Cole. Oh, wait, I got this. Okay, so go ahead for it. So we're starting with the roll call, trying to get through it. We're only gonna be a little bit late on the other one. So VP, so go for it. Go for the roll call.
VP Tom, Vice President of Legislative Affairs, Hashmi.
Yeah.
Vice President of Team Development,
Aye.
Salihu.
Aye.
Vice President of Public Relations, Jackson Winters. Senator Vila.
Aye.
Senator Sarah Browner.
Aye.
Senator Matson.
Aye.
Senator Portillo.
Aye.
Senator Rafter.
Aye.
Senator Richfield.
Aye.
Just abstain, I guess. Abstain this one. Yep, sure.
Senator West.
Aye.
No one there, no one there.
Portage Senator Crowder.
Yes.
Reedsburg Senator Stacy Brunner.
Do you see anything online?
Here.
Do you vote yes or on this bill? Or no, or abstain?
Yes.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Vote Atkinson Senator Dirks.
Aye.
And how do we have it?
We have 14 yeas, 0 nay, 1 abstain.
Okay, with that, the motion passes. Bill number 3 is approved. Thank you so much. With that, we can move on to the resolution number 12. Thank you so much.
Do you want to fast read it since?
You want me to- Okay, but no, we can do it.
Okay.
How much do you want me to
Well-
like? I think you should read some of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
How about I'll read? Let me know when I
Yeah,
can help out.
Yeah,
So you'll start
yeah,
here.
yeah,
So you start with the title
right.
and this, and then you can go here, and then do you want me to read the primary reason?
Well, you can read the action section.
I will do that,
Yeah,
yes.
thank you. Yeah. Okay, resolution number 12, supporting students during Ramadan. Formal motion. Students Senate officially recognized Ramadan as an important time for Muslim students at Madison College, shows support during their month or fasting and reflection, and encourage instructors, staff, and student groups to be aware and respectful during this time. Section 1, primary reasoning. 1. Ramadan is the 9th month and the most sacred month in Islamic calendar, and many Muslim students here in Madison College take part in this special time by fasting, praying, and focusing on their spiritual growth. Ramadan teaches values like empathy, patience, kindness, and self-disciplines, things that actually create a more understanding and inclusive campus environment for everyone. Number 3. Students who fast during Ramadan are going through long days without food or water while juggling through homework, exams, jobs, and campus events. Number 4. Scientific research has also shown that fasting like Ramadan can have health benefits, such as better metabolism, reduce inflammation, and improve focus, proving that fasting not only good for your spiritually, but also good for your physically. Let student-led groups like Muslim Student Association, MSA, create safe space for Muslim students to feel connected, celebrate their faith, and educate others on campus. We, the student senate, for reasons stated above, support this resolution to recognize the holy month of Ramadan and promote awareness while encouraging flexibility from instructors and event organizers for foster an inclusive and respectful campus environment during this period of fasting, prayer, and reflection.
Section 2, actions and commitments. The Student Senate commits to the following actions to ensure the successful recognition of Ramadan. The Student Senate officially recognizes the month of Ramadan and shows support to all students, faculty, and staff who observe it. Encourage teachers, staff, and event planners to be mindful of students who are fasting, especially when planning events that involve food or physical activity. Ask instructors to be flexible and understanding when it comes to the timing of tests, attendance, or participation, especially around sunset, early mornings, or during long fasting days. We proudly support groups like the Muslim Student Association and encourage the college to continue giving them visibility, resources, and space to build community and host events. And to share this resolution with college leadership, instructors, and student groups to raise awareness and help make Madison College a more inclusive place for everyone during Ramadan and beyond. Be it enacted by the Student Senate Madison College symbol that Student Senate officially recognized Ramadan as an important time for Muslim students at Madison College. Show support during the month of fasting and reflection, and encourage instructors, staff, and student groups to be aware and respectful during this time. There was a little grammar error. I didn't.
Lowercase s, right?
Sorry, where?
There's a lowercase s on that.
Yeah, that was one of them. And I think we just wanted to put like.
Sorry, which?
That was, I didn't edit that. So, yeah, so it should say ask instructors, proudly support groups like, and then share. This was a capital S. So it's like an active verb is what we were going for. I just didn't do that yet, but I do have a version where that is it. So that would be the only change. It's not a substantive one. It's like a grammar one. So just to make it consistent. But yeah, I see we have two things here. It's Brent first and then Annette.
I noticed on page 1, number 4, proving that fasting, I think maybe should be in there. Fasting is not only, or is that, am I misreading?
You said section 4.
Oh, yeah,
I see.
On number 4,
Page 1,
yeah,
number 4.
Yeah, that's
versus just fasting.
Fasting not only, yeah.
Yeah, just is,
It's not.
just not.
not only is good for you. Oh, is could go anywhere.
Yeah, either before the not or
Not only.
after the.
Sure. Two edits to make. With that, Annette.
I would like something added to it.
Really? What would you like? Here's the
So,
author.
so with, from what I read, just briefly, a lot of knowledge, there's increased prayer involved, and I know that we have prayer spaces here at the school, and I think it's important for students to know that those are available and advertised, that they just need to, talk to Student Life or go to the Goodman South location. And I don't know if all the students are aware of that. I think that's really important.
I believe it is advertised in the student life office.
I just wanted in the bill itself, since
Sure.
it's gonna be, published.
What would you, so for this, I actually would like to know what the language would be if we were to add it. And then I would like Son to approve it since he's the author of the bill. So what would you want?
So I feel like it should be something like, prayer spaces are available, contact, Student Life at the 2X location. And I'm not sure who you contact at Goodman South. I know that Trio was allowing students to come into Goodman South and use an empty, office, which is no longer available as far as I know for doing prayer. And I don't know what campuses do, but just so that they have a point of reference.
For Goodman South, I believe it's the front desk
Okay,
at the wall.
that makes sense.
Thank you, Annette.
Oh, so I
appreciate
do think it falls under here. So proudly support groups like the Muslim Student Association, encourage the college to continue giving them visibility, resources, and space to build communities and host events, such as the prayer room in student life.
It's
at
on
the
the
direct campus.
multi-faceted room, but I just
number
want
4,
them to
right?
know for sure
Yeah.
that they can use that for prayer.
Such as,
I think any of those rooms, even the one that's, available for,
oh, I see what you mean.
families, that those rooms are available and you can utilize them for praying.
Such as,
Another main room for prayer, cultural practice and professional room, because they have the Quran Bible and they also have like we do pray. I don't know how to write it in English, but
I'm sorry I didn't come up with wording ahead of time.
that's fine.
Thinking
I
about it.
just thought of it now. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Thank you.
Okay, what about this? So, under section 2, number 4, proudly support groups like the Muslim Student Association and encourage the college to continue giving them visibility, resources, and space to build community and host events such as family rooms and reflection rooms reserved for prayer. Does that work?
Something like that.
Do you not like it, or do you?
Well, family rooms, do you want to expand on that or?
So family
Aren't they-
room is like,
yeah.
there's a room where you could like have your child in there and
Oh.
work on homework.
Oh, okay.
But that could also
Yeah.
be used as a prayer room
Yeah.
if that room is available. You
Mhm.
shouldn't be limited if it's empty.
Right. Thank you.
Does that work for you?
Yeah.
As the author
I
accepted.
approve.
Quinn, you're one of the, oh yeah, we have to add you as a co-host or sponsor.
When I don't think Jose, I was able to come today, so.
So we just need you to, is that okay?
Yes, sorry.
Okay.
Oh, we'll be able to, vote on it today?
We can. It's a resolution. We don't need to wait a whole week for it. Let me just add in that last edit. Where was that? Like, is only here?
Number 4.
So
And
the
the end
grammar
of 4.
Oh, yeah. Also is good. Okay, I see. There we go. Okay, perfect. I know to add that in now. Okay, with that,
Good catch.
we can do a vote. Let's open up this. Yes, Annette?
Oh, did someone already do that?
No,
I think
Oh,
you're
okay.
doing it now, yeah, so he
Sorry.
accepted your, friendly amendment accepted by both the sponsor, the author and the co-sponsor, so that's done. Now it needs to be, motion, not table. We're not tabling this one. Whoa! Whoa, crazy ideas.
Lay on the
I
table.
move to approve the.
Okay.
resolution.
Okay, wait, do we say fasting is not only good for you spiritually, or fasting not only is, which?
Is not.
It's not
It's
only.
not only, okay, yeah, I was like, they both sound kind of good, I wasn't sure. Thank you, okay, glad we figured that little part out. Okay, with that, boom, boom. We can do did we have a second for Senator Crowder? Okay, second from Senator Avila. With that, we can do a vote. Oh, I'll do this and you call it out. Oh, I'm so sorry. Official procedure, we're voting on the formal motion for the resolution that Student Senate officially recognizes Ramadan as an important time for Muslim students at Madison College, show support during their month of fasting reflection, and encourage instructors, staff, and student groups to be aware and respectful during this time. Now we'll take it to a vote by roll call.
Maybe Tom, I.
Let me fix that for you.
Vice President of Legislative Affairs Hashmi.
Aye.
Vice President of Team Development Salifu.
Aye.
Vice President of Public Relations Jackson Winters.
Aye.
Senator Avila.
Aye.
Senator Sarah Brown.
Aye.
Senator Maxon.
Aye.
Senator Patillo.
Aye.
Senator Raptor.
Aye.
Senator Richgills.
Aye.
Senator Valerio.
I should abstain.
Senator West.
Aye.
Portage Senator Crowder.
Aye.
Reesburg Senator Stacy Brown.
Aye.
Both Atkinson Senator Dirks.
Aye. What are the results?
14 aye, 0 nay, 1 abstain.
With that, we'll call resolution number 12, supporting Muslim students during Ramadan is approved. Thank you very much, Team Islam. Okay, we got through a lot today, and yet there still is one more thing. The biggest thing that we've been waiting for, this is approving our budget, and we'll find that tomorrow, it's gonna be a really big thing for that Declan, not Declan, sorry, that Yilong and Lando over there, okay? And I'm all off today. Yeah, I'm like, no, okay, great. Yep, so, Yilong and Lando will be presenting that tomorrow. But in order to get them prepared, we have a little mini game here prepared today. We'll be doing a little debate, and here's how it's gonna go. Cole, can you pull up the sheet I sent you, the spreadsheet I sent you? Yep, so you'll see that on the spreadsheet that Cole's gonna share, is the budget request for all the student groups up there, and we'll be able to see how much each group requested from last year, how much they requested this year, the raw change between the two of them, and then the percent either increase or decrease from each group. So if you could just zoom in a little bit.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm gonna put this one further up.
Oh, just move to the center, I see.
Yeah.
Yep, so you'll see here that some groups asked for a lot, but you'll notice that
I think that was.
oh, really? Why is those numbers? Can you go to the second column?
Right by.
Second tab, yeah.
Yeah. That's the one.
Sorry, why is the athletics number not
Showing up.
Yeah, no, it should be even bigger.
Athletics, it should be bigger than this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you go to,
Let me see, the next one.
is this like an old version or?
It's the
This
same.
one is the final.
Go to rank by
That's the one
group.
You showed us.
It
Public safety
is-
meeting.
The same.
What?
So the 700,000 across the board. It's all, oh, so your raw change here is different.
Ooh.
Your
Can you-
raw change for there, so it's actually, here you have the raw change for athletics is 15.35%.
Right, okay, that's
Is that
what,
what you're looking for
That's.
yeah, can you go to athletic, what's the budget request from last year?
for athletics?
Yeah.
682,000.
Yeah, can you just put those numbers in the other two? I'm sorry, I must not have corrected that. So that's the real number for athletics, yeah. Yeah, and if you put in the other one too,
What's the other one?
the second tab, it's
Oh,
not the
yes.
second tab. Sorry,
You're good.
I must have forgotten to change it
Oh, it
over.
was correct in the second. So your first one just had was just off.
Oh, okay, yeah, so I must have not corrected it on that one.
You're good. So this is everything.
Okay, you'll see here that some groups are requesting large amounts, but they're not fully reflected. So even though that we're requesting, if you scroll down to us, you'll see that we're requesting a 23.82% increase of $14,000. If you scroll up and look at athletics, they're requesting a 15% lower than ours, but that's $104,000. So those are the kinds of things that we're going to discuss today, how each group is making their request. And you'll see here that each individual group, if you scroll down, you'll see that like for performing arts, they actually aren't requesting any money. But you'll see that for music, performing arts outreach, they're requesting no money. They actually gutted their budget and they put it all towards music. So how do we account for those changes? Look at rank by group on the third tab. A more simplified version here, you'll see that STEM or their new one, so technically they're infinitely increasing, and PTK is having the largest percent increase. Student Senate has a smaller percent increase, but we have a larger budget from the start, so those are things to consider. Athletics is asking for a very big raw change on there, and then ELT is asking for $10,000, which is mostly for student groups. So those are some things to consider. I do believe that student life, if you include all of them, student life actually goes down to 8.78%. And then some groups like volunteer center and performing arts are actually, at a 0% change or a negative change. So my understanding is that groups like performing arts and PAL and United Common Ground are a little concerned about our raise because we're over the 10%, although other groups are too. So this is going to be an interesting budget discussion. So we're just here to defend our budget. My understanding after talking to Ellie is that after everyone's budget request came in, we're still at 12.8%, 12.9%, depending on where it rounds. I forget where it does, of what our reserve budget is. And we're supposed to be at above 10. So we are there. So we can pay for every single person's request on that list right there currently. But people, in the interest of fiscal, like being fiscally responsible, people do want to question certain people's responses. I know that people are looking at athletics, Student Senate, and PTK. So we're here to defend ours today, and that's what we want to do. So now that we have this overview, I was hoping to split the two of us into a couple of groups, and then the people online can be like judges. And I hope that maybe Lando, if you could come over here, and then Annette, if you could go over with Declan, if you could be the two co-leads. So Lando and Elon will be defending the position of Student Senate, and then Annette and Declan will be asking some, questions. So Declan will be the bad cop, and Annette's the good cop, and they're going to be asking some questions about, how do we justify this expense? And we're going to split the room into two sides, and we're just going to give you each like 5 minutes to talk to each other. Then they're going to have 5 minutes or 3 minutes to present? No, 5 minutes to present.
It's 5 minutes to present each and then
Yep.
3 minutes to recant. And then.
Yep, 3 minutes to recant, and then we'll just have a discussion about how it goes. Question?
Sorry, I didn't understand what does NA mean for STEM?
They don't have a percent change because they're new this year. So technically, they're like infinite increase because they've never existed before. So that's just their normal baseline. So they don't have a percent change. There's nothing to compare them to
Yeah,
because they're new this
because
year.
they're gonna just start as an organization.
Yeah, so they're in their infancy. Was there one other question I saw?
So online, solely online, it's just gonna be myself, Sierra and Stacy then.
Yeah, I guess you get to be judges, so.
Okay.
So you get to do the judges, I will do the timing. How do we split the room up? Who wants to be on the defending side?
I think honestly, if you just go like this, because the
Try like
reality is,
this.
the
Yeah,
reality is, just they both
Five.
need to be together.
yes.
6.
Even if there's more over here, it's fine. They need to be ready, so let's.
Do you wanna play?
I'm like,
I think it's fine.
I think we need,
Quinn and Evan.
do we need more people defending or, nope, okay.
Okay.
You're attacking, you're defending.
Okay. So yeah, so let's go ahead, work with your group, take 5 minutes and put together kind of what you're doing.
Okay, 5 minutes starting now. Okay, so you might want to consolidate with your team leads because they're gonna be, what's it called, leading the charge on that.
I've laced it with rhetoric, so this might be a little fun.
Oh, everyone here, yep.
I'm gonna go over there, and let's see if you guys are gonna like read it off to you. Okay. So first of all.
Are you coming over here?
Yeah, just
Are you
make it-
spying on the enemy side? Oh, okay, no, you're switching
Other
over.
organizations increase only 10%.
Can I give y'all-
And yet,
So what do you think about everybody?
let me give you all 5 pieces of information. Nodding his head right.
Because you should.
So maybe you're on the winning side. But
Yeah.
first, no visual point, we're the only student organization in all of Madison County. According to the American Postal Workers Union, a hostile working with our legislators, given that it's self-identified by nobody, no other group, why should you give access to those who want to fight them? We're the only ones that do like the legislative session. We're the only ones
With so
representing.
much turnover and so many seats empty, why are you
And then
putting
you
more positions?
The positions that we have are recognizing that.
even though every officer already has
Tools,
one.
that's why we're talking about arms race.
Or if you can't get it
And then
in class,
thirdly,
It's crazy to me.
percent
You're
increase
asking
is
You guys include Republicans from the 90s.
remove the fact that it's paid, it's only 1%
In order
increase.
to fill this spot, you seem to have seen a picture of a declining organization.
And that we should be
looking at
expanding
sunsetting
our
this
outreach and advocacy.
Not one that requires a
beyond what this
part.
semester was.
Aside from your
We're
resolution
having, so I
regarding
can say,
excellence, acknowledge.
we're adding
what has really been
this
accomplished.
increase
I love to be acknowledged.
because
We all love to be
we
acknowledged.
had more individuals actively
60,000
engaged with Senate this year,
exorbitant.
more individuals applied to be.
Declaring was considered better than the Badger Herald
Interaction
on
with
statewide level.
regional campuses.
And yet they're only at
exponentially
4.2% funding. How can we have so much and so little? And yet the Senate is trying
One thing you're gonna have to figure out to justify, the House is plan for it. You have 3 coordinator positions that we have.
What do you guys think? Is this too over the top? Oh, man.
Because we
Campus
can't be
coordinator,
real.
sustainability coordinator,
And then
and
they
tier
take it
one.
serious.
Yeah, they're in the 3-year plan. In the back.
They're gonna ask
How we
questions.
justify that, because that's probably gonna be
And
one
so
big
we need to
thing.
instruct them.
What's
on
up, water?
what questions
Point
they're
of
gonna
view.
ask.
Does that make sense?
I mean, I think you.
Cool.
Point
You're there.
Yeah,
right.
right. We wanna press them for actually being stressed.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I love the fun. Don't get me wrong.
Cost
Exactly.
So we need to make sure.
What are you planning to use?
What's up?
Well, I.
Try to make up.
Yeah, exactly. Travel like you're in, so they're having more people in Naka and other.
Well, and I don't think you wanna do a, that's the big deal, guys, and because it's
So
an
that's what.
organization for their first and then offer
It's
them
a
for
very
diversity.
essential job that we need to have, so
But
some of
that's
our
what
classes.
I-
You only mentioned. Refuted expanding college education to parents.
So I'm kind of.
Mentioned this.
On their ability to organize
Outreach
So
and
other
work
classes
outreach
for
on
campuses,
campuses.
I'm like,
most
we are not.
they do have an element that they'll be able to pick up.
So
on.
they are gonna have some cause like, basically arguments over and trying to say like, hey, and if they do that, so
then
that's-
that
I kind of want to get them to.
overall skills for
One,
argumentation, prepare them.
two, I want them.
So that's kind of what my reason was to deal with, because beyond that.
People are gonna ask.
You're right, we should ask a little bit more.
Maybe split it.
questions to, I
Or
know
do
that-
like one.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else do we want to ask? We want hard questions that are gonna get to the essence of what we think.
1 minute.
How do you justify
I wanna
this,
say like.
increase in the group, not me?
So,
You
well,
can
right,
talk to each other while they're speaking.
at the same time, we do know that if we ask a really big question.
That was my.
1 minute, that's You can go.
We want me to be judged. So you're right, how do you?
Well, you'll help them, Joe.
That's fine.
You know, we can talk about what.
So it was.
1 minute, 1 minute, everyone. Pay attention to 1 minute.
What other organizations are doing in terms of the pay that's being done with the work.
Right, in light of
the
what, I mean, we do want to make some sort of.
Alright, I'm gonna
budget.
Yeah.
And we want to.
So I think Stacy's here, if you're
They
following
have a
along.
shadow. They're the ones that help decide, like,
What's
how
the
are we
hour
spending?
comparison that
Student
student
senate are
center?
the biggest groups that help it.
And all the work they're doing.
So like we
How
have
does that
other
equate
groups
to a
that have like
dollar?
watchdogs.
I mean, it's
Kind of like
like
how Congress.
$3,
They have the president and they have the judicial branch.
All right, yeah, so,
So that's kind of where that's at.
how does the,
Like, put the same over.
We're counting down to 5, 4, 3, 2,
I don't know.
1. Well, I don't, you're really stopping.
all right, so who wants to present what?
Okay. We gotta break it up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, places, people.
These ones are really big.
Well, two of you are gonna stand up. If anyone else wants to stand up, they can, but I would like for definitely two of you to
But like,
stand up.
this is not hominem.
Okay, Yolong, you
This
ready
is
to?
strong.
So are you ready to go present
No,
with
it's
them now?
actually,
In person? No? I thought that's why, no?
No.
Not prepared?
This is a
Are you
false
ready?
analogy.
Do we need all of us in front?
We need
This
Cole
one-
to come up. We need them two there for sure. Maybe
Actually, this
one or
one
two
might
more
be,
people. Who wants to go up with them?
This one is kind of blowing.
Quinn?
up.
You wouldn't mind?
This one
Yeah, you
is
see?
also, these last two are.
Wait, do we
I
have
don't know
one
how-
non?
Actually,
Yeah.
I wrote this.
Yeah,
one.
you wanna go?
I mean, everything that the.
I think you wanna go.
The administration is.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll fight.
Whoa.
Oh, sure.
Administration
You guys will all
works
be
well.
there.
That's how it goes.
Are they gonna ask?
But Lando and Declan definitely have to be there.
And with this one, this one. here's-
I will support you. You guys go.
To come
I
up.
would say, look.
They can do it. You see, I'm a supporter.
I'm waiting for Cole. so he can-
The few things that we have accomplished, such as textbook reporting.
How do I do that?
For this program,
Yearly.
next
Everyone has 5 minutes.
the amount that we've saved.
We're gonna run
for
over this.
We'll pay for this program for the next few decades. I would.
Where did
be
he
fine
go?
with that.
Not by much.
But we'll see, because, you know, we'll see what they.
So we're just waiting.
But I do know what I would say to pretty much all of these. These, I think I'd actually struggle with the vague questions. I would go, we just.
Waiting for Cole.
What do you want?
If they respond, maybe we should tell them what we would have said in there if we were in there.
He had to go to the other bathroom.
Yeah.
That bathroom was,
So which one do you want to do? 'Cause I want.
Well, that's a good point.
the other bathroom. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. You didn't, didn't know even that bad.
Wait, are we?
Yeah, it's close. He might have went downstairs first.
We're just
Oh.
asking.
I hope he didn't wait for the
asking
elevator.
them for.
Watch when he's stuck in the elevator.
Yeah, this is definitely a loaded question to this. So which
I
one?
wonder, I'm like, is he coming?
No.
Okay, well, Nevaeh, is there a meeting tomorrow for,
PR.
yes?
By the way, guys, keep these two Senate related, just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case. Yeah, keep it simple.
Oh, wow, you're coming to the most interesting part. This is our debate.
Okay, so who wants to take what?
I'll take my question.
Well, at this point, we can introduce this. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Anjay, and I'm running for president for the next
Sure.
semester here.
Nice.
And really, a couple things, kind of interested in working on like,
Okay, well, this wasn't a pitch, but.
yeah. But really, I'll be happy to talk to you guys afterwards. I've already talked to a couple of you. Yeah, I'm just here to see what everything's like.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome.
Okay, it's full. Okay, I'm gonna give it like one more minute, otherwise I'm just gonna go. Whoa, 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 what are you doing?
Who else wants to take what?
Oh, did you do that or? Whoa. Are you doing that? No, it's just moving randomly?
Okay. Do that.
I don't know.
Wait, I think I'm in a haunted room right now. Let's go.
Wow.
So I don't, which one you want me?
Okay, well, I think at this point, Cole's taking too long. You could just like shut the door ajar. No, 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 Vea's outside.
Oh, well,
So
Come in. Yeah, come into it.
It's like.
Essentially, yeah, if you want your own.
He's coming, guys.
How close?
Just joking.
oh,
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, that's okay. We'll can wait. Okay, so. Okay, everyone quiet. Okay, we're gonna give them the respect they deserve, so everyone sit down.
Oh, you can, I gotta stand up for a little while.
That's fine, you can do that.
Sorry.
Okay, so sit down. So, beginning the debate of why you deserve, oh, perfect timing, Cole. Beginning the debate of why you deserve, the funding increase that you're asking for to the SAB. Let's start, 5 minutes.
So firstly, I believe that Student Senate rightfully deserves an increase in their funding, because when you actually break it down, the vast majority of the increase is coming from increasing the pay in our positions. And so essentially, if you take that out, you know, us as SAB, we all voted on general increases to all the stipend positions to keep up with the hourly positions. So if you take that out, we're only increasing by about 1%. And so, in addition to that, we're gonna be planning some more events. We're gonna be doing more, I mean, so far this semester, we've done way more outreach to the regional campuses. And so that's helped us really get out there and engage the student body. And we now have a record number of future senators. You know, we have a record number of applicants. We haven't had more than 40 applicants in the past 5 years. And so this huge influx of new senators coming in, we're gonna need to be able to keep them all busy doing things. And so our thought was if we add some new coordinator positions for sustainability, childcare, as well as regional metro campuses, that could give these new senators a specific task to focus on, increasing their responsibility. And, you know, that I feel like that would justify a pay increase as well. As you're gonna be taking on more work, you're gonna be planning more events. You know, we're thinking the sustainability coordinator could do a lot of the Earth Day programming, and they can kind of run that whole event. And so overall, I think that, you know, also when you break it down further, we're only asking for $14,000 more from our request last year. And some of the other orgs like athletics are requesting $100,000 plus more for their organization, which is huge. So just keep that in mind.
and our budget increase is in part to cover these new positions, but this is and travel as well. This is all a response to an increase in engagement from students, an increase in our activity on the regional campuses, specifically regional coordinator, and an increase in excitement and application to be student senate. This is something that Student Senate is increasing its outreach and people are increasing their interest. And that's what this budget increase is a response to.
We are going to have a huge incoming population for the applicants. And thanks to the 2 town hall events, so we need money to cover that. Also, we want to stay competitive among the student organizations. If we want to achieve that, we need to improve our workload for each of the positions. And that also requires a higher payment.
I also wanna add something. So since like next year, we have like a full Senate members. We have some conference like NACA and WSG that we need Senate members to attend. because they will all be new. That will be also a way for them to learn. Like Kai and me went by there last year. It was really helpful for me to learn more about it. And also to build some connection with people like from other campus, like from New York City, Chicago, and all of this country. So since we have like a full Senate that we are almost attend the NACA this year, so we need money, we need the funds because we need to send at least like 10 people, and that is a lot of money. So we need our budget to get increased for that because we invest on people, and these people is like the future of Madison College. So that is why we need that increase of our budget. And also, as they said, after the all-time event, we saw a lot of people who are really like getting involved with Student Senate because when we were doing like they asked them questions. We distribute some t-shirt. They was like really happy to come to our meeting because we get more people to our meeting every time. So that means like the all-time event is great and that just bring more people to us and they share their concern. And I think that is like the goal of Student Senate. So more money, we make like more advertising, more events, and more like learning. Let me go.
That's
Anyway,
time.
I share my God.
No. Okay, that's done.
Yes.
Okay. Nope. So that's it for you. So you got your 5 minutes. And now if you could quickly come back to your seats and we'll transition over to the other side and they can do their counter. So what, that was like a, what is it called? Like.
That was like an opening argument.
Opening argument. Yep. So now they get their opening argument.
Like response.
Yeah, response. You respond to their opening argument.
And side note for this, just real quick, because I don't want to be lost. I saw y'all taking notes. Please take notes during this, because again, the part of this is winning and developing. So whoever wants to do it, just keep notes, please, so that.
I will say keeping.
All right.
Okay. Please stand up.
We wanted to do it a little different. We're not gonna focus on a counter argument. We're gonna focus on asking questions so that they'll be more prepared for responding to questions.
Yeah, I do. Okay, you can get. Oh, so wait, are you waiting for them to?
No, we're ready.
We've got.
We're ready.
Okay, great.
5 minutes.
Did you want to go? You don't have to.
All right.
We'd
Great.
like you guys to
Hey.
actually respond to our
Hey,
questions.
Judge, please. So, instead, they're gonna ask you questions
Okay.
related to what you have written, so you all need to respond.
Ready?
Yeah. Ready?
Wait.
Okay.
Go.
Yep, so we're gonna start. In 3, 2, 1, go.
So I would like to know how student athletics and student senate are similar. Because you made a comparison of why did they receive, why are they getting XYZ dollars versus us?
Okay, so the reason why I thought I would mention that is because, you gotta factor that in as well. You know, we talked about, increasing the payment for all the stipend positions to keep up with hourly.
I really appreciate you saying that, but you're not really answering the question. How is student senate and student athletics the same? Are they doing the same jobs?
They're both student groups. They're coming from the same pool. It's both student enrichment.
Yep, they are both student groups. I do agree with you there. However, they're two different entities that provide two different services, correct?
Yes.
Could I actually add to that?
So I just want to mention that I don't, basically, I'm trying to get at, don't compare yourself to another student group. You don't want to alienate people right away.
Plus, they're the ones that are gonna be voting for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's all I was
That's
really
good,
trying to do.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. You
Yeah.
don't want to defend comparing yourself to
Uh-huh.
another student group. It's way too hard and you're gonna end up in more of a battle than.
Yeah,
We should be in this all together, not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
When you present things, I have my own
Yeah.
personal opinions, but when we present, we're gonna.
We need that money, so.
We need the money. Let's not forget. Okay, continue, next question.
Well, first of all, I just want to say, according to the American Postal Workers Union, a hostile work environment can lead to high rates of turnover. Given that the Senate identified high turnover as a challenge, why should we give an extra $14,000 to a hostile work environment? Another thing, your president brought forward a bill that recommended other organizations to only increase 10% in their budget requests, and yet you decide not to lead by example. Do the rules not apply to you? I'm a little confused. Not only that, but the Clarion, if we're going to compare organizations here, was considered better than the Badger Herald. They did more with less. Their increase is only 4.2%. So how is it that they're doing all this and Senate is churning their wheels in a recalcitrant administration.
I think the Clarion is a great organization. We don't want to compare ourselves to them.
Yeah.
Also, now you don't want.
I like it.
No.
We can change it.
Good job, good job.
And I also wanna add, like, in the past year, we did not never have like a full Senate members. And right now it's different because next year we have a full student Senate event. And we realize like in the Senate, they have a lot of international students who's like part of our groups. And that would be great for all of the job that they're doing to get paid hourly, don't just get the stipend one time each semester. That is why we switch our policy for getting stipend to get paid hourly. And because we think that we get like some students who have like some extra funds because added some international students cannot have some scholarship. So that is one part of that. And also some extra money means some extra travel to go to another like state, I think like NACA or WSG and make like some advocacy for Madison College. Also like we invest on the new senator members. So that will be the voices of Madison College. And also more money will be like more marketing, will be like more events, will be like more t-shirts. All of these things, that is why we need that money for. Because like I said, we have a full Senate this year, so we need that money for that.
Declan, did I answer your question?
With the words that she's,
Hostile
right now,
work environment.
we, the Senate right now doesn't have a full staff, senators, right?
Mhm.
That, money is recycled. Can you use that recycled money from the Senate that are not, you have 3 positions? Can you cycle that money to lower that, budget request that you're doing?
Not really, because our goal is to the Senate to be like more bigger, so to have more impact in Madison College, so we can now recycle all of these positions. We just need to add more position to that, so we can be like, we can have like more voices in Madison College, and that is our goal.
Good answer.
I should be here tomorrow.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, you should totally.
The budget here.
I think there's two questions I feel like need to be answered. One is, so the way you worded it is like, oh, the 10%. So, I think they will say that. I do think that they will say that, although the rule itself, wait, hold on. Let's listen up here. So they will say that, but the rule itself is that we are allowed to increase over 10% if we have justification. That's how the rule, I don't know if you knew that or if you're presenting it, how you thought people tomorrow will present it. Because people tomorrow probably will say, well, you went over 10%. Well, it wasn't that we can't go over 10%. It was that we can't go over 10% without justification and people understanding why we're going over 10%. That is the rule, because I did personally know how things were gonna go. So yeah, there is an exception to that rule. The other one is, like why are we having such a big increase for all the things that we're doing? I think you answered that really well. More voices, more representation. Any other thing there's something from your question we didn't answer?
The post office.
The hostile
turnover.
turnover. Yeah, I give you that one. So any student organization is gonna have continuous turnover
Yeah.
because student needs and desires are never gonna be met with one organization.
Yeah.
That's literally.
And
the whole thing.
every student org has had turnover, so it's not, right? They say, why do you have turnover? Okay, you should just ask everyone, hey, everyone here, raise your hand if you've had student turnover in your group. And everyone will raise their hand. I think that'd be a very effective way to get them to say like, oh, I guess we all have. I think that'd be a good answer to that. But 2 people here need to go, so I understand that.
Do you feel like the assumption you're making that it's hostile?
No one's gonna say that tomorrow, though. No one's gonna say hostile environment.
I just wanted to see if you guys would recognize that it does with fallacy.
But yeah.
Okay, next question.
So we did. face,
Oh, wait, let
turnover.
Devon you go, but let him speak.
We have like, though like we have some turnovers, but immediately we have many applicants to fill in these empty positions.
Yeah.
For both of the turnovers in this year and last year.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yep, so we've always had the same amount. It's just we lose and then we gain right away. So
Yeah.
That means that we do not have a hostile.
Mhm.
I just want to mention something, WSG, make sure you mention Wisconsin Student
Yeah.
Government. And just do a short, like, that's how we're getting our open educational resources by, advocating with, a body versus an individual. student.
Yeah.
Wait, I have
Son,
a
you're
question.
It goes beyond just.
Besides NACA and WSG, which conference we need to attend? Like,
It's,
Waste core.
Honestly, I would mention NAPA. Secondly, it's the WSG that I think is gonna be
That's
more of a
draws a lot
powerful
of people.
statement
We have so many people.
because of the collective bargaining more or
Yeah.
less,
Mhm.
as you can say, you know, we're.
And they're advocating to the legislators. Okay, real quick, I see you here, but Hassan has to, do you have to go now? Oh, okay, well, okay, then Nevaeh.
I was just like, I think like, kind of going back from that experience, like with like your like surgery and like how you need to like stay at like the hotel, like I think that's like a good reason to have like that extra fund, like in case like things happen, like if there's like an emergency, like we didn't have that, like I guess you had your fund, but like I don't know how to explain, but yeah.
That's more no policy within the school district, within our, I mean, within the college, that's why I had to say.
Yeah, and I think WSG, is WSG covering part of it?
They didn't say they were.
Oh, sorry.
Katie pointed back to Cole, that's why I remember we talked to Cole, but maybe we'll talk to Katie again, I'll talk to Katie again.
Mhm. Are there other questions you want to ask?
Yes.
One more.
Given that you cannot raise your budget by more than 10% without justification, how do you justify this disproportionate budget increase?
Can I respond?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Increasing responsibilities for current roles we have new roles that are being created. And all of this is a response to an increase in engagement. I want to keep, I guess I'm kind of repeating myself before, but I don't know.
Well, no, that type of question is what you're answering first. So when they ask you for the justification of why you're going up that much, you do answer that question essentially with the beginning.
Yeah, I'm repeating myself from 5 minutes ago, though.
No, that's fine.
There's the increase. I wish I knew specifically, like, how many more people have applied for Senate than in
We're
previous
like
years.
well over, no, almost like almost 100% increase.
Yeah, this is like 100% increase. They've, in Doug's memory, so you can point to, see, humor is a good way to communicate your point. See, Hassan, you can say, you know what, in recent memory, in what's it called? You can say like, well, you know, in the keeper of Madison College history, Doug Kirkberg. No, we're trying to appeal to the audience. We're gonna say Doug, and so we're gonna say Doug Kirkberg has told us that, no, we've never had this many people apply for Student Senate before. This is a big year, and that's because we're doing a lot. That's what I would try and call out to people in the audience and get them to appeal to their, both their emotion and logic.
Yeah, huge influx.
That's winter retreat.
Huge.
Yeah, Lena came to the winter retreat, so that was a way to talk about how we involved other students on campus.
Exactly.
I would stress how we involve multiple other students on campus. We
Yes.
passed a resolution on Ramadan for the MSA.
And multiple students on multiple campuses.
Yes, and we talked to Watertown campus and advocated for their interests. Like, we should talk about the effectiveness that we have.
Talk directly of tangible examples.
Yes.
Yeah.
What else? Any other questions, any other points?
Is there another?
Yeah.
Annette?
Okay, I do have one more.
Okay, Annette and then Declan.
So, couple things. One, I would, use a couple of note cards for you and Cal for when you have your 5 minutes, just so that you don't go over.
Yep.
And potentially have more time for questions. Probably not, but I'm just gonna mention that. Two, I think it's important to emphasize the fact that how much student senators make right now per an hour.
Sure.
If you just do a rough estimate of a general senator, and if they're doing 2 committees, what that might break down to.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that just puts a whole nother light on the people who are your student voice that are representing all of the students,
Yeah.
including the people that are in the room. And
Yeah.
I would remind them that, we're the student voice, we represent all of you in various matters.
Yes.
Declan, you had a point?
Yeah. So looking at the slideshow, I noticed in the past accomplishments, to fill that slide, we're going all the way back to the 90s. That's like 3 decades ago. And I'm thinking to myself, looking at the recent accomplishments, I'm seeing a lot of acknowledgement of excellence, acknowledgement of identity. We all love to be acknowledged. I love to be acknowledged, but being acknowledged to the tune of nearly $60,000, that's the price of like a new Cadillac. That seems exorbitant to me personally. What else are we actually going to accomplish?
You actually think that, or are you asking that as a question?
No.
I
know what we did. I know
Okay.
And we
No, I
have a
was-
response for you too, so.
Yeah.
Someone might ask
Are,
that. You
are
never
we
know.
the only student org/student group that connects a bunch of regional campuses or do other?
So there's a group called PAC, so it's Programming and Activities Council. They work specifically with the
Goes to all the
regional
regionals.
councils, yeah.
You wanna know how I
Is that-
agree with that?
Are students on that?
Students are on that. There's a
Yes.
president of PAC.
Yeah.
The reason I included this argument is because that was initially the impression I got. If I was just skimming the slideshow, which I know not everyone is gonna pay attention to
Yeah.
every detail. And if I
We got
just skim
some
it, if I go,
interesting questions.
and I miss a lot of details, that's what I'm gonna take away first and foremost is, look at all the diversity, equity, and inclusion
Yeah.
resolutions that were. Wow, great, recent accomplishments, what else is getting
Well,
done?
he is close to
know.
7.
I would refute it by saying that we are the liaison between students and the administration, and part of that mission is acknowledgement. But we don't just accomplish that. We get down to the nitty-gritty details, like at Wisconsin Student Government, where we advocated to keep a modest increase. And that difference of 1.75% to 2.25% actually saved $1.16 million in tuition statewide. Because we're, I think, what was it, the 360 million, somewhere in the order of total revenue? So that's the difference there that I calculated. I would refute
And
it
then
something like
you
that.
could also mention the
Yeah.
fact that the books, or the textbooks affordability is still paying on.
Yeah.
It never ended, even though it was in the 90s, it's still paying.
In the 90s.
We still have a
Affordability started in 2019.
I think that the nineties thing was a reference to the shuttle.
The bus pass.
Yes.
The bus pass
Sorry.
started in 1990.
See, it's still here today. We
1992,
still
I
have students
believe.
actively using
Metro.
that service,
Yeah,
so.
right, you could twist it that way too, if they're saying like, I'm seeing stuff from the 90s here, like it's been that long, you could say, well, it's been
It has.
around that long.
Or if they don't say that, you could mention it anyway, just in case it's.
Yeah, did you know that the Madison College bus service came around in the 1990s?
So I will say this, do you remember how to answer? He had a very important question. I think this
Yeah.
might be the most important question that you need to
Oh,
answer correctly tomorrow. Like, well, your very own president suggested that, that
You
the
keep it
groups
under
don't
10.
go under, that groups don't go over 10%.
Yeah.
Why did your group choose to go over 10% when you made your budget request? How would you answer that? You're gonna be up there tomorrow. Elon's not here, so you need to answer
Yeah.
this right now and make it snappy.
Right now?
Yes, right now.
Okay. So.
Not fast enough, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
So 10%, obviously, when we were running the numbers, we saw our reserve was getting pretty high, we were about to break through the 15% that they recommend. And so when we were trying to figure out keeping it between 7% and 15%, we found 10 was right in the middle. And it just so happens that due to the increases that we all voted on as a organization to increase all the stipends to keep up with the hourly workers, that now we're above that 10%. If we hadn't done that, we would have been much lower.
Yeah, I think I would lose the first part and I would focus on the second part and mention how, hey, you know what, we're in line with the, what's it called, with the
We are
stipend increases that you all voted for. We
Yeah.
voted to increase everyone's stipend and have more equitable pay for all students. And, we have a large group. We have, potentially 20 students in our group.
Yeah.
So it's gonna cost a lot to adequately compensate them.
The other thing you can add, is the 10% is a recommendation.
Yes.
It can be reviewed, but also statistically, if you look at the average increase in pay, we also said you could increase in pay on average by 30%.
Yeah.
And I think we're
For
just
stipends.
at or just below
Yeah,
30% for
below.
the
Yeah.
total compensation increase. So yes, it's a 20% increase, but everything that was discussed and brought up for terms of pay increase was also looked at by the compensation review
Review
team
team.
and said that we could go up to 30%. And
Yes.
that was by position or by average.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Sure.
You got it?
Yeah.
I would write down some of those answers tonight, just so that I mean, I do that all
I'm
the
gonna
time.
watch back the meeting anyway for the minutes, so I'll be taking notes.
There you go.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would focus, not taking all the notes right now, really
No.
focus on just this
Hold
right
on
now.
to 10%.
This is the biggest, no, I'm saying that this right now, this is the
Yes.
biggest thing because it's our money.
Mhm.
So we want to make sure that we get this. And
Yeah.
tomorrow, we don't want to make enemies, we want to make
No,
friends.
don't
Athletics,
bring in
they'll
other-
probably vote for us because they're gonna feel like, well, are you gonna vote for us? So they're
Yeah,
gonna want to
they're
vote for us.
gonna need
So we'll probably, hopefully PTK, Ratesie's not there though, so actually they don't get a vote, so
Oh.
no students coming there. So ELT, probably gonna vote for us. There's 2 votes right there.
Told you.
Who else do we have?
Can we talk about STEM Center?
STEM Center. Are they gonna, Declan, you're very close to STEM Center.
Declan, you should
Are they
use
gonna
your
vote for us?
magic.
I can mention the fact that we.
Do you anticipate?
What do they, yeah, we brought them in. We brought them in.
Yes, we can mention
They
the
will not
fact that
require
we
any
have
further
some
sway.
lane
sorry?
data.
Wait, Declan.
SAB did, but yeah.
If the primary is there, they will not require any further swing. If the alternate is there, there's a 99% chance they will vote for this.
Who's the alternate?
Okay.
It's Aaliyah.
It's Aaliyah.
Yeah, so that's 3 votes right there. Who else can we sway to our side? I think Volunteer Center would
Cassie.
probably vote for us. I think Cassie,
What do you think?
yeah, I don't know. I think Cassie might vote against it. We
So
need,
then, that's life.
well, we have my vote and we have Student Senate's vote. So
Is it a
that's
vote
already
by,
enough.
wait, is it a vote by roll call? I don't remember.
Yes, we need
Yeah.
6 votes to
We need
win.
those.
Well, is it vote by, like ballot or roll call? 'Cause that.
Oh, it's by roll call.
It's by roll call,
Yeah,
okay.
so athletics goes first, then ELT. Is Clarion gonna vote for us?
Yeah.
That's the
You can
question.
probably count on.
Well, with
Student Life.
Kelly, if we,
Student
we
life?
worked with her
I don't know about that one, actually. I don't know.
on setting everything.
Wait, who's on the board?
Do we
for
want to
student
get
life?
ready to?
Lena.
Lena.
What?
To sign up, just because we're off track of.
No, I know. Well, no, but that's the calculus for.
Well, I
win.
understand, we're also recording it, so.
Yeah,
Let's go through this.
yeah.
No, I think
Just
it's
giving me
fine.
more to look at later.
I don't think anyone's
It's
gonna.
okay.
Talk about our lobbying.
I will.
No, let's being strategic.
That's fine.
That's
No,
that's
I
just
think the
real.
lobbying power at WHP
Wait for somebody to
is
check it
good.
and be like, who can't you vote for us? Like, that's a- that's a-
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
UCG,
get that on the
I don't
record.
know. I think that there is a chance that if it goes up to a vote, I think we got it. But we
Yeah.
have to be good. You have to present well.
Is Linda for UCG?
Linda's UCG.
Yeah.
Said yes.
I think that
You should- you
they
should send her a
will, I'll
little
probably
something.
abstain, honestly. I think Princess will abstain.
Okay.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Do you think she'll vote yes?
Yeah,
Okay.
I have good.
Yep, work your magic.
If I were you, I'd talk to her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think she might say yes.
you should talk to her. Like, if anyone knows people, you should get them, you should say, hey, like, this is our justification. We really believe in it. And this is what we got. So that's all I got for you here. We can move on to our announcements. Student Success Awards. So that was our debate. Student Success Awards are Tuesday, April 22nd. We did nominate Student Senate. I sent in a request. You sent in nomination. Did anyone? You got a nomination?
12.
Really? From who?
I didn't see, we just got, Senate got a bunch of emails saying congratulations, you were nominated for organization of the year. We got like 12.
Oh.
Wow. From us? or-
From general, so 12 individual email, 12 individual submissions were sent.
Who nominated Senate in this room?
Not me.
Not- you?
Sorry,
And Josie. Me, that's 5. So that means that 7 other people potentially nominated us that are outside of Senate.
yeah.
Yeah, I did not nominate, so, sorry.
That's fine. Who did you nominate?
Me?
I don't know if I can disclose that.
You can, but you don't have to.
You
Oh, I can?
You definitely can, but you don't have to.
It's under your own.
It's under your own choice.
You can plead the fifth.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
Wait, were we only allowed to nominate one organization?
No,
you
you
can
could
You
have
can
nominated.
nominate as many as you want.
No, well, you wouldn't because you pick one to win. So.
Oh, yeah, I nominated STEM org.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
They're very
I'm biased.
new, so I'm not sure they're gonna win, but.
No, I doubt it, I doubt it.
But I think you should, I think that if you felt like that was right, then you should do it. But in any case, that's happening on Tuesday, April 22nd. We have our new senator introduction ceremony on May 8th. Is that correct?
Yep.
May 8th. Our next meeting will be on Thursday, April 3rd, in room C 2402 at 4:30 p.m. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I must.
Motion made by Senator Durst, second by, I know, honestly, I'll go with Nevaeh. I don't think I'll call your name in
Yeah.
it. So VP Jackson Winters. Anyone, any discussion? Think none?
I think
Any
at this time,
opposed?
everybody wanna go.
All those in favor of adjourning the meeting, say nay. Okay, we're done. Meeting adjourned at 6:48. Thank you very much.
Thank you.